Welcome. This is Bears 100 Proof. We go to the guys who are talking before the show begins. Listener discretion is advised.
When the hell was the last time you saw all the fucking coaches come out like
Never.
that?
It's never happened.
Nope.
That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I think that's one of the most telling and important things.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I thought Helfrich was good.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Good.
You guys are chomping at the bit to share these opinions, so why don't we get started?
I thought we were going to start with Shayne's story.
Oh, Shayne's got a story?
I do?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you were going to tell him the story.
I'm lost, I guess.
The sex story. The sexcapade. The twice in a day.
You're having sex twice a day?
What? What are you talking? I'm totally fucking lost, dude. What are you talking about?
Were you drunk as hell when you were saying this?
What?
I'm talking about when you had, back in the day, you had sex with two different girls twice in the day. You were going to tell the story.
With the underwear? Oh.
Oh, I don't know shit about this.
Yeah, it was. Oh, all right, yeah. I was not dating this girl, but just, kind of a friends with benefit situation. Well, I went out and I got all fucked up, and I came home and she was at my place. Well, one thing led to another, and Seinfeld reference, yada yada yada. And I was really, really fucked up. I'm like, well, you gotta leave, because I was seeing this other girl at the same time, and I knew that she was coming over later. So
what time was this about?
It would have been probably around midnight. It wasn't that late.
The girl was coming over later.
Yeah, because she was a nurse. Finally got her out of the house, and I was so fucked up, I didn't even move out of my bed. I'm like totally dead to the fucking world. Well, next thing I know, I fucking roll over, and the second girl is there sitting on my fucking bed looking at me, and it freaked me the fuck out. I'm like, when'd you get here? She's like, was anybody here with you? And I said, no. What the fuck are you talking about? She's like, well, why is there a pack of cigarettes on the floor? And I'm like, because I don't smoke and never smoked. I'm like, huh. I'm like, well, my brother-in-law was over. Must be he dropped them. I don't know. Fuck. I'm not sure. But I said, no, nobody was here. She's like, you're telling me nobody was here with you before I got here? And I said, no, I fucking promise there was nobody here. And she's like, well, then whose are these? And she pulls the other girl's panties off my fucking head. The fucking chick that I told that she had to leave got pissed off, and she fucking left. But when she did and I was passed out, she put her fucking panties on my right around my fucking waistband, right around my head. I had no fucking clue.
Brilliant.
Caught red-handed.
Anybody listening to this, I beg you to Photoshop some panties on a picture of Shayne, and I will send you, I don't know, I got a couple of extra CDs lying around or something. I'll send you something.
So
that was...
She didn't put it in your pillowy soft area.
No, I was too scared to look down there. I didn't know what was going on down there.
Oh my God!
I was all sorts of fucked
here,
up.
Bitch.
Yeah, she was. But I ruined.
That is wild.
I ruined that one.
So let me ask: did the one who left the panties come back?
No, we talked a little bit, but I never.
That ended. And what about the girl who caught the panties?
She stayed. She knew her bread was buttered. Yeah, she stayed. I mean, what we're going to do, it's not like we were dating or anything. It was total booty call.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But
tell me, is she now your wife?
No. I fucked all that up with domestically. That's why I had to go international for this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Nah. A Bears room, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof. Even if the Bears win or lose. A Bears room, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, no matter if the Bears win or lose. Yo, first, the smartest man, no tweets, he's never missing. Impossible, the mission, call out frauds with precision. My Bears 100 proof, these faces #1 Adora. Slaying dumb tweets, cross-eyed like Tabor. Never one to back down to call a fraud a lemon. Wise man, no doubt, Miller's asterisk ending. Cheers, Bears fans. The fire Puerto Rican barkeeping for Chicagoland. He's the godfather, the one, the real producer. Always keeping the show together with the voice that will seduce us. Risking out a Firefox, the old timer never stops. IPA, drafts, malts, crafts, barkeep takes the shots. Barflies appreciated worldwide. Canada, Scotland, England, Brazil, Mexico, and Dubai. Dr. Phil is the guy, the one to realize that's the barroom leader to show with an endless shoot supply. Gone big coat fought the narrative on color, brought the Jasons of campaign for Mitchell. Now I'm the standing up for the truth. You know your boy's the little guy. These media heads won't give us credits up to the barflies. Flies. Fuck a fraud in his keyboard, Twitter tough guys surround us, raining truth on the Bears worldwide. Barflies astound us. This is the #1 pod, that's the reality of the truth. And if you don't know us by now, Bears 100 proof. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, even if the Bears win or lose. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, no matter if the Bears win or lose. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, even if the Bears win or lose. A Bears ballroom, they're the ones that fight for truth. Bears are alive or 100 proof, no matter if the Bears win or lose. Bears ballroom, yeah, you know you got to feel it. You got to feel it. You got to feel it. Bears ballroom, you know you gotta feel it. Yeah, you gotta feel it. Do you feel it? You gotta fire, John Fox. Yeah. MC fulfilling, another fulfilling 45 track. Bringing the hits for the Bears Barflies. Bears 100 proof worldwide. Shout out to the super producer, the Godfather, stand up, unite, Aldo Gandia. Shout out to the Vice President. It's the Bears Ballroom, and of course, it's only one Bears girl, the smartest man in the bar room. Come on now, the mailman, Shayne. Money Man Marcel. Deliver the mail. MC fulfill for the Bears. Of course, your boy, Draft Dr. Bears 100 proof.
Well, it's good to be here. One of the things we want to do today is go ahead and announce the 3 coordinators that we were able to keep on staff and bring on the staff. And I'll start off with Coach Fangio. That was obviously one of the big questions going into this thing on how we were going to approach this and where that was at. And to me, it was really simple. The numbers speak for themselves. Here's a guy that has been in this league for a very long time, and the production is there. I mean, talking about a top 10 defense year in and year out. A guy that me as a head coach will be able to learn defensively some of the ins and outs of what defenses do so well. So the biggest thing going into it with Vic was just trying to figure out, his philosophy, my philosophy, how it meshes together. Can we make it work as people, as peers, and as friends? And it was easy to tell right away when we met that was going to happen. So in regards to Mark Helfrich, as you could tell through some of the things we did in Kansas City offensively with trying to be a little bit out of the box and new wave type of stuff, it was easy when I was approached and started researching different names that he was the guy. And what made it even easier was to figure out who he was as a person, which there's a theme here to all this. We talked a little ball, we talked philosophy, we talked about his situation of being, knowing whether or not this is something he wants to get into, coming from such a great background in college and being the head coach of a prominent program to come here and help me grow, not only as an offensive coach, but as a head coach. I thought that was very valuable. So it's been great learning more and more about him each day and really excited about what we can do offensively, and I think we'll work well together. And then, of course, Chris Tabor.
Just shut up. You had me at hello.
This is Bears 100 Proof, and you just heard new Bears head coach Matt Nagy's comments when introducing his coaching staff. Mark Helfrich as the new offensive coordinator, Vic Fangio returning as defensive coordinator, and we cut him off a little bit before he shared his comments on new special teams coach Chris Tabor, but more on Tabor later. My name is Aldo Gandia, but don't you worry, I'm just the sidekick here. The stars of the show are the ones that you want to hear, and they are Draft Dr. Phil Latoshan and Shayne, the smartest man in the barroom, Marsaw. Gentlemen, we are going to dig into the particulars of this press conference today. I have tons of sound bites from all three coordinators, but first, I'm going to pull a Buffon 55 on you guys. I want you to, within 55 seconds, share your general comments on this new coaching staff. The first impression they left with you. And there's only one guy to start with this type of format, and that is, of course, Draft Dr. Phil.
55 seconds. Good one, Aldo. Good one.
I know how to step up in the pocket. I've proven it time and time again, Shayne. When you record your 23 fucking Easter songs, let me know.
Oh, man.
I can guarantee
Shayne will be
barflies out there. That is not happening. No, I'm
you
not.
gotta get Shayne drunk enough. Barflies worldwide have been sending gifts and all this other stuff, and they've been tremendous.
Yeah,
I'm asking somebody to send Shayne a big, strong bottle of vodka. She loves those Russian women.
I got lots of that. I got lots of that on hand.
We gotta get Shayne vocal fried.
Vocal fried?
So he can go sing a country Easter album.
No, I am not a country fan at all.
I thought you were a country.
No, not at all.
My God, I just totally stereotyped your white ass.
Yeah, I think it's Dustin that's the country fan.
Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, by the way, I've got Dustin lined up for an appearance on Bears 100 Proof in a couple of months. Oh my
God! The Angels have answered.
Yeah, so that's going to be a show that is a can't miss show. But I'm going to get you guys back on track. Phil, I'm going to give you 55 seconds to give us your impressions of this coaching staff on what was, in my opinion, one hell of a news conference today. So the clock starts right now.
I'm just going to keep it real precise and concise. I've never witnessed in my lifetime the Chicago Bears roll back the curtain and just talk real and be football people. The essence of what you are, the charter franchise, I felt was unmasked and unveiled by the head coach speaking so eloquently and truthfully about his process and what his goal is. And then to have these coordinators that are the diamond in the rough that help the head coach get to where the team needs to go, be able to speak truthfully in front of the media, and their responsibility for asking questions for the fan base. I thought it was just a tremendous change and a huge difference from what we've seen here, and it really was telling.
You don't have to stop exactly at the 55. You can finish that.
I'm money. I always deliver. Don't fucking forget it. They want to talk shit. Barflies. My cult. Support me.
This idea was courtesy of Bears Girls, who said, "Man, that 55-second whistle, you should use it on Phil on 100 proof." So kudos to Bears Girl.
She is the devil wearing Prada in Canada.
Okay, Phil, wrap it up.
Exactly.
All right,
that's what she said.
Bears Girl drops tonight. All right, Shayne. I'm going to set the clock at 0:00, and it starts right now.
I got to give it to Mr. Atoshin. I agree with everything that he said. You can just, you see all these guys come out, and you see the youthful enthusiasm. Even the elder statesman of the group, Vic Fangio, got up there, and to me, he's a very dry guy and very point blank, but to me he came across today like he was reinvigorated and ready to go. And no matter what Nagy or Helfrich or Tabor or the biggest thing that I took out of everything was the Vic Fangio talking about Mitch Trubisky, bringing him up, that he was definitely one of the reasons why he wanted to come back to Chicago, because he looks at the quarterback and he thinks that he can be a very good player no matter who's coaching him. And I don't think that can be undersold at all. I think that's a big, big deal.
I totally agree with both of you guys. To me, this was like getting a new iPhone. This was like getting laid from the first time with some gorgeous woman. This was like riding your first Harley Davidson. This was every good thing on planet Earth all rolled up into one. This press conference impressed the hell out of me. These guys were professional communicators. Even, like you said, the normally taciturn Vic Fangio was sharing thoughts. He sounded exciting, and we've got all of this stuff on tape, and we're going to listen to soundbite after soundbite and explore what these guys were talking about. I am just so damn stoked for the 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 Chicago Bears. This truly felt to me like the turn of a franchise. We have been very critical of these Bears and the management team and so forth, but I just got a sense that they have finally figured out what to do. And there are going to be mistakes down the line. Ryan Pace is going to draft a dud, hopefully not in the first round. And these coaches are going to make play calling decisions that we're going to scratch our heads out and complain about on this show. But what I sensed today was that finally we have a professional coaching staff that is going to make us proud. I fucking am so stoked. Man, oh man, am I stoked.
I got a boner.
Aldo, take a shot.
Oh, yeah, Aldo.
Pour him a cold one. Get him fired up.
No. We don't need any more voices like that. We moved on.
That is hilarious.
We turned the page on Scotty Farrell and John Fox.
Oh, I'm going to miss Scotty Farrell, not John Fox, though, I'll tell you that. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's begin by playing one of the clips. There were so many damn impressive sound clips. I've got a total of 16 of them here. Maybe we'll play all of them, but I could have easily have selected 32 of them.
Wasn't it just tremendous, Aldo?
Oh, my goodness, man. It's like a movie.
Just to feel the conversation. I was saying off the air, seeing Fangio talk, you're just hearing truth. And about football. We're making this about football again.
Oh my gosh.
About winning again. A direction was there. I'm sorry. I know you guys joke and I talk a lot, but I've been in many a locker room, been around a lot of football in my life, and I've been praying. No joke. But I know Shayne's on a similar knee that I have been on, and praying for my Bears not to be the business only, the live off 85. I just I'm around New England. I'm around that kind of vibe, Aldo, of just, they could be arrogant, but they're pointed, and the direction is to win. And that is what I felt today. Like, we know we're at the bottom. We know we've sucked. We know we've made mistakes, and we're going to make more. But here's the direction that we plan on going, and I think, I'm just so excited.
I got a boner!
For the fans to realize that for the first time in my lifetime, since Ditka, that I felt like this is about football now, and let's get our fucking seatbelts on.
I was just about to blow the whistle, too. He stepped up in the pocket again. Well done, man. Well done, man. Hey, brevity suits you, bro. All right. So, man, this is like being in a candy store. I got all these great sound bites. It's which one to start with first. Let's go to Nagy talking about Mark Helfrich and how he is going to help Mitch Trubisky and just his whole philosophy on teaching quarterbacks.
The obvious answer to that is some of the RPO stuff that we do, but there's more to it than that. So you talk about developing quarterbacks. We're a team here that's in that position with Mitchell. So anytime you get into this process, you want to. Coach Reed has always taught me the value of being able to work off of your weaknesses and bring somebody in that can help strengthen your weaknesses, and you can do the same for them. And so it was a perfect fit. So not just the run game and the things they do off of that, but just knowing how to develop quarterbacks and handle quarterbacks. And it's such an important position in this league, and it's a delicate position that has to be done the right way. And it was a slam dunk the second I knew he was interested, and again, got to kind of talk football with him and people skills. It was a no-brainer.
What do you sense he does best in developing quarterbacks?
Well, just understanding how to handle them, how to treat them. More and more that we get to talk, knowing how to be a teacher to them in the classroom. And, it's, like I said, being a delicate position where this isn't a position where you can get on. You have to be able to handle them the right way and understand that, where they're at and how they develop. There's going to be some times you have to get on them a little bit. There's going to be tough love. But really, when it comes down to it, teaching details and fundamentals, and he has that. I mean, that's easy to tell.
I love that. I love it that he used the word delicate. And not that he's going to treat Mitchell Trubisky like with kid gloves. He means that it is almost like a science, or you can't screw up when teaching a young quarterback. You can't lead him down the wrong avenue like Dowell Loggins was doing and John Fox was doing. You've got to come in and know how to teach a guy, teach him the right things, and that's what Matt Nagy was saying that Helfrich can deliver to Trubisky. Shane, you got to feel as excited as I do about this.
It's almost like he gives a rip, right? When you think about it, that's kind of refreshing, right?
How about it, man?
It is. It's almost. I mean, I know I'm not a big press conference guy, but it's really, really hard not to get excited when I get the feeling that the Bears have finally turned the page and entered the 21st century. It's really, it's hard to grasp. And what you pointed out, Aldo, not handling him with kid gloves, but he said there, sometime you're going to have to give him some tough love, and that's what it's all about. And I mean, that really goes through it. I mean, that goes throughout sports, but it's very important in the game of football, and especially when you're talking about the most important position. Brad Childress was on talking about Matt Nagy and talking about how you procure quarterbacks, and he said, you can't sit there and just berate them all the time and MF them constantly. That's not what it's about. Sometimes you have to do that, but like you said, it's almost a science. We saw Jay Cutler here, who had all the talent you could ever want in a quarterback, but you also saw Jay get lazy on the little things, carrying out the play action fakes, little tiny things like that, where if Mitch gets lazy with that, Nagy's going to be right there. Helfrich is going to be right there. His quarterback coach, who they announced tonight, Dave Ragone, is going to be back. He's gonna be there talking about this to him and letting him know time and time again how important repetition is. And these little, we've heard 100 times in the game of football, every inch matters. every little minute detail matters in the game of football. How many games have we seen the Bears play over the last few years if they just made one extra play that they could have won the game? And a lot of times that comes down to quarterback. And we're a quarterback-centric team now, and I think it's going to pay dividends in the long run, absolutely.
I think it's imperative that people realize that every person, every player is different, and the communicational process, good cop, bad cop, mental games, how to squeeze the most out of every position. But with that quarterback position, as you know, it's not just cliche. It's the most difficult position in all of professional sports without even a question. So to have an offensive coordinator's eye on top of it, he could play hardball with techniques, and then it could be pushed over to the quarterback coach to be the kinder, gentler, whatever way you're setting it up. I just felt like, as Shayne was saying, we've talked about this all throughout, how the little things, being a maniacal coach, having those eyes on top of it, the jokes and the frustration that would go on, and watching game tape of Dowell Loggins and having to hear Twitter heads and people defend the guy. When I look at it, and it's not a personnel issue like it was, it's going to be interesting to see those polls you put up, because the talent like Inman, Wright, and what you had at receiver isn't really as poor as it's being described as you were watching it. It was the game plan and the usage of them and formations and stuff. So that kind of stuff was frustrating. To hear these men talk, as Shayne says, there is importance to me in a presser, especially something like this, because you're actually seeing the men who are going to change the culture on the football side of it. The locker room was what it was with Trestman. Then, Fox came in, got rid of some of the bad eggs, and then the results on the field didn't change. In fact, they got worse because of coaching. And I'm a big, firm believer in assessing this. What I felt great about and what I prayed about coming to fruition is having a maniacal head coach who's also incorporating his surrounding coaches, even to the effect of getting Vic back, Aldo. Him and Shayne bringing that up and listening to what was one of the most important things was Vic coming back because of his belief on the offensive side of the football. I don't think that should ever be overlooked. It's really important that be understood, that he actually assessed it, was like, I think this is going in the right direction with that kid. That leads to, recruitment of talent, what have you. But Vic saying that also reflects poorly on the past coaches in my mind, because you felt bad for the kid. And I know you said it, Aldo, that now coaches coming in here with a plan and a strict formation for that plan of Mitchell Trubisky is something that I feel like is why this head coach, this offensive coordinator's here, to have a different angle and different philosophy than the head coach, but a back philosophy, but now you're going to be in unison and be able to incorporate those things. I don't think I could be happier from where we were in the dark ages, or to steal from Tabor in the dinosaur era of coaching, to ultimately get to this point where you're looking at a plan actually put in place that we talked about, the year of the quarterback. Everything this offseason has to be focused surrounding Mitchell Trubisky. He's the tip of the pyramid, and everything underneath him should be built up to support him. And that right there today, I felt like not only did the Bears do something smart and brilliant by bringing on these hires to show you this is about football, but then them to eloquently explain their process and be as, transparent as we had hoped people would be when they are in this position. I think on top of the transparency and all of the winning the presser was the real juice, and that was the plan for Mitchell Trubisky, and it's a good one. And that really has me excited.
And I totally understand where Shayne is coming from, where you don't win, with great press conferences and so forth. But I do think that they do have significance. And I'll share with you a thought. You want your leaders to be good communicators. And so when I heard John Fox at that opening press conference, I walked away thinking, this guy is old. He's not telling me anything that is inspiring me. And I wondered whether he was going to have that same impression on his football players, not only from that press conference, but when he stood at Hallis Hall in front of the 80 guys trying out for the team, if they were going to be inspired at all by him, if they were just going to hear the same thing that I heard in that press conference. So I utilized those press conferences for me as a clue into what type of a communicator this coach is and how is he capable of inspiring players. Now, the big star of the show today had to be Mark Helfrich, because we already know Vic Fangio, and no offense to Chris Taub, Helfrich as the offensive coordinator, we all wanted to know more about him. And so this was his opening statement to the media.
Everybody in this building has been phenomenal. Excited about the staff, excited to not get my teeth kicked in as much as we did in the old days, maybe against Vic every day. But just very excited about the people here. And then the place, Chicago, I don't know if we have to make a list of how great this city is in this area. The history here is unbelievable. You walk by, Walter Payton and Dick Butkus and George Halas every day. It's an honor to walk in this building and the opportunity to win. I think it feels like we're close as a culture around here. I know that's something that we're going to work hard on offensively to match where we're going to be and have been defensively and on special teams. And it feels close. And I want to be a part of that, putting over the top.
That, to me, is fucking brilliant.
It is. One thing that I think that nobody's talking about, and, Ryan Pace is a pretty well thought out guy. And part of putting all of these guys out there all at once and letting them talk about, the new Chicago Bears. And, you even heard Adam Schefter say a bunch of the, head coach candidates that came in here and said, this is, we really wanted to end up in Chicago. They're really building something here. By the Bears putting all of this new staff out there, this is a free agent sales pitch. Also,
yes,
you hear Helfrich say, yes, everybody gets talking about the history of the Bears, but he's mentioning the city. But this is the new age Chicago Bears. They got the young quarterback. They're going to have a ton of cap space. They need offensive help. They need defensive help. They put their rock star defensive coordinator Vic Fangio out there. And today wasn't just an introductory press conference for the Chicago media. It was for potential free agents. These guys see all that stuff. They're very well aware that Chicago has a bunch of money underneath the cap. They're very well aware that Ryan Pace has a bullseye on his forehead, and he's going to be opening up the vaults to spend that money this year to surround with Mitch Trubisky. And you take some of this positive momentum, you put these new, young, fresh-faced coaches out there, and you just keep on riding this wave of momentum. And I think it's a message to, potential free agent targets on both sides of the ball.
That's a great point. It
really is. It was one I was going to make, too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It was.
See how he is, Aldo? Jeez, I tell you.
He just beat me to the punch. I mean, I'm always truthful. I'm not bullshitting you.
He's always truthful. He's a genius.
He is the second smartest man in the bar room.
I didn't score well on my SATs, but in a game of let's go to the tape, I'm sure I can battle anybody out there.
That would make a really great song.
Thank you.
He wants you to sing that SAT score out. All right, Phil, listen, I'm going to play this clip of Helfrich.
Can I just say
you
the
can
money?
Say whatever you want, baby.
Yeah, the
You're
money
star of the
quote.
show, not me.
He was talking about a culture, Aldo, about a change.
Mm-hmm.
This was not only a recruiting ploy, which I totally agree with Shayne, because, like I said, it finally felt like the Bears stepped into the 21st century where football's most important. And how do you sell football? The city, the stadium, but most importantly, what kind of culture, what kind of direction are you going in? And Shayne's 100% right. We got a young rookie quarterback. They're mentioning the basis of talent. Even Vic went through the talent on the defense, recognizing them, whereas past coaches missed opportunities to promote your own players, to promote your own culture. So many times before, with Lovey, with Tressman, with John Fox, it just was missed opportunities to say what your players mean to you. And I think if only asked, that would be revealed. Today it wasn't asked. It was just revealed in segments by Helfrich, who's learning the roster still, but he mentioned the offensive line, he mentioned Mitch, he mentioned Cohen. So you understand that a creative process was going on and in a direction where I believe they recognized that visual I was giving you at them looking at Ryan plays like, holy shit, you guys, this is how you did it. Like, it's so ass backwards. It's not just talk that we've talked about, Aldo. It's not just us saying, oh, Dow Loggins sucks. And it's one of those things, but be careful what you wish for, because change might be bad. No, he really did suck. Like, it was getting to the point of sheer and utter a comedy for other people and football people to look at. This is awful. This is JV. To get to this point where they believed they could turn this around. And I felt like the crack of the door was shown about that new offensive coordinator being so excited about Mitchell and about his footwork and the things that he can improve because, like Shayne said, every inch and everything in a maniacal coach's mind matters. So I want as many trusted eyes on the subjects as I humanly possibly can have. That right there is why I felt like that quote was money, because he's telling everybody that we're close.
I thought Shayne was the smartest man in the bar room.
Hey.
Wait a minute, Bears girl. Phil just said everything Shayne said. All right, so here we go. I want to play this clip of Helfrich talking about what makes a good quarterback, and then I want you to jump in, Phil, and add to what he says or just comment on it.
Have a talented guy that wants to be coached. And then, when you have a talented guy that wants to be great, you get him to say that, right? And then hold them to that standard. And as a coach, I think you're constantly trying to find ways to communicate how they learn, get them to, he's again a young guy, just imagine walking in, to the huddle in Soldier Field for the first time, and there's a 31-year-old and a 20-something-year-old and, all these veterans around you. That's a challenging deal. And you have to get in their corner at the beginning, challenge them like heck, until that first snap, and get them thinking about as little as possible at the snap. And that's a challenge. Again, defense like Coach Fangio's every single day, he's going to be confused. And our job is to dwindle that down to think about one thing. We talk about a flight simulator, right? We put the quarterback through lightning and thunder and bad weather and winds and darkness and it's not every day's blue sky, but we want him on the snap to be thinking, I need to look at A and then B and then C.
I got to tell you that. Yeah, see, he sounded just like Dow Loggins. That was Dow Loggins. Let's hear that again. Yeah, see, Dow was just saying the same thing Helfrich said, right?
Right, just missing the sniffing noises.
That's right.
Be at home in Miami with the offensive line coach.
Yeah, right. I'll take his office. That's what Dell said.
Exactly. He's fucking finding hidden he's tapping the walls to see if anything's in there.
Phil, you have coached. You're the son of a coach. You have family members who are coaches. When you listen to Helfrich talk about what it takes to be a good quarterback and how he coaches them, what do you think?
It was refreshing, and it was pointed. It comes from the school of my upbringing. It's the understanding that you have to push really hard. I always would compare it to when a batter in baseball would put the donut on the bat and start swinging in the batter's box, and the bat would become very heavy. So then when they take the donut off, for our fans that don't understand this, the weighted donut on the bat, once they take it off, now the bat to swing is very light. Your muscle memory has turned to feeling like this heavier bat now is lighter because of the weight change. Same thing for a quarterback, is having them prepared and really pushing them to get it right and put them in all these critical situations in practice and in meetings, to have them always thinking. So when it does connect with that football player, it becomes second nature. It becomes the batter in the box with a lighter bat. It becomes the guy who learned how to drive stick shift, and now all of a sudden it's just old natural. When you watch like a Drew Brees play the game of football, you just see that things start to open up in the course of a game. It could change, and you could find the bad places, and you make the bad plays, and then you learn throughout the course of it. And all of a sudden, like Shayne said, it becomes about the quarterback, and you got to make a play. If you're delicate with them always, or you're worried, or you're playing conservatively, and you're not trusting them because you haven't done your job well enough, then you hinder that person's growth. But if you do your job and you prepare them to see everything, and you're hard on them, only to love them in their best and worst moments, you can unravel the greatness out of a player. And listening to him talk about this and walk you through it. I have a friend of mine who worked with Coach Chip Kelly when he was at Oregon. Then he went with him to Philly, and now he's with him again. And he could not express any higher praise for Helfrich because of the guy's ability to communicate his thoughts clearly to students. He's ultimately, quote, the best teacher I've ever been around. That kind of commentary is what flowed through the bar room. Coaching and the importance of teachers. And really, Aldo, I can hear the excitement in your voice when you heard that. And I feel the same way, because I've felt like I'm with someone who knows how to fly the ship.
What?
Or fly the plane, rather. And that right there is the most important thing, because when you're giving a head coach who's never been a head coach before the reins, you're going to need some great quality communicators surrounding not only the head coach, but obviously the young quarterback. So that really, I believe this hire is really going to be looked back upon as one of the most tremendous moves that they ever made, because of his ability to teach and his past experience. And you saw him there's a calmness about his ability to distribute the vocabulary.
What?
And I loved it because it was football terms spoken to nerds in the media. And he was able to articulate his plan and the way to handle a quarterback so fluently. And that kind of language resonated with me.
Let me bring Shayne in here and have him comment on this next Mark Helfrich soundbite, which is Helfrich talking about quarterback Mitch Trubisky.
I think the biggest thing that jumped out on me as I have watched him on film is the biggest thing that jumped out on me as I have watched him on film is he's coachable, and you can tell a quarterback is coachable just watching his feet and his eyes. And his eyes are deliberate. You know, they're going from 1 to 2 to 3, or I'm looking here and high-low in this guy, whatever it is, they're deliberate. And then the other thing that jumped out is his accuracy and taking care of the football. You know, he had, I think it was like a 3-to-1 or maybe even a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio in college. That works, right? That's a good thing. We need to continue that. We can't put the defense in a bad situation, our team in a situation, because there's times in the NFL they're going to get you. And I think a quarterback kind of either has that innately, that ability to take care of the football versus turning it over when he for lack of a better word, panics.
Everything that he said, I mean, if you go back and really into last spring and read some draft tidbits, you know, leading up to the draft, he was really describing exactly, you know, any draftnik. You know, their summary on Mitch Trubisky was pretty much exactly what he said. The biggest thing was his lack of experience, but he was always, you know, you always heard that he was an accurate quarterback. And one of the things that, you know, you don't usually see with a lot of guys coming out in the draft is that, you know, the ability to go through their progressions. And that's something on tape you did see Trubisky do at North Carolina. And, you know, at the same time, you're not going to hear this new offensive coordinator get up there and say, well, he's okay. It's he's not exactly who I want at quarterback. There's some of that too, but I mean, you saw Mitch translate all of his positives from North Carolina. You saw him translate those onto the field in Chicago with a limited coaching staff, with limited offensive firepower. And, you know, he didn't turn the ball over, in a huge amount. But it's, you know, you like to see it. He's talking about his footwork, and that's when Mitch, we all know here, we all saw it, when he got lazy with his footwork, his passes would sail, and that's when the inaccurate passes came into play. And this is what's nice about having a quarterback-driven coaching staff on the offensive side of the ball, is that's now going to be, Mitch is never going to escape that at any point. I mean, he's going to get it from Nagy, he's going to get it from Helfrich, he's going to get it from Dave Ragone. There's still a chance that they could bring in, you know, Pat O'Hara from Houston as an offensive assistant, or even Darrell Bevel from Seattle. There's some rumors that they may still be coming in. Mm-hmm. You just like it at any turn for him to have that, you know, these guys on top of him 24/7. And like what he said, we all see that Mitch has that big smile. We all know the work ethic. He's a guy that I think is going to stay right in Chicago, and that that matters too. And I think he's going to have guys like Cam Meredith, you know, when he gets further along in his rehab, guys like Kevin White. Yeah, I think he's going to be going out there and he's going to be trying to recruit, guys also in free agency. All that stuff matters. Mitch is the sole focus, and these coaches are going to, you know, hopefully bring out the best in him. And it's just such a refreshing change. You know, Phil put it good, Aldo. It's really nice to hear the enthusiasm in your voice, you know, because we've all been through this together, all this craziness over the past couple of decades and even longer than that. And it is refreshing to see the Bears kind of turn the page on, you know, their history and take a step forward into the future. And, you know, guys like Helfrich, I know I see a lot of people out there saying that he failed at Oregon. And he failed at Oregon because Helfrich was never a great recruiter. Everybody knew that. One of his top recruiters, he didn't do that good of a job. Helfrich had a chance to be the offensive coordinator for Chip Kelly at UCLA. He had a chance for the head coaching job at Arizona, but he turned it down because the recruiting process is a whole nother season entirely. And for some coaches, that turns them off to the process. So you saw Helfrich jump at the opportunity. I mean, he was also talking to other NFL teams. So he got involved with Chicago, and now he doesn't have to worry about that recruiting process. He's got Mitch right there in front of him, and he can concentrate on just, you know, well, not just the quarterback, but that's going to be one of his main focuses, along with Nagy and Dave Ragone moving forward. And that's really all we can ask for as a Bears fan at this point. It's going to be a really exciting offseason, and like Phil said, it's from where we came from to where we are now. We want to see it translate to W's, but I think we're off to a great start.
The other thing regarding, you mentioned about Helfrich not being a good recruiter, and there's, I think, some validity to that. But the other thing that a lot of people don't talk about regarding Helfrich's coaching career at Oregon is that the NCAA sanctions that were put in place because of misdeeds by Chip Kelly and that whole regime didn't take into effect until Helfrich was into his third year of coaching that team, and so that impeded some of the things that Oregon could do to recruit talented players and so forth. And so by his fourth year, when he lost 4 games, I think a lot of that had to do with the NCAA sanctions. Not all of it, but certainly some of it.
Absolutely.
I want to play this soundbite for Phil to talk about, because it's going to lead to some Josh Bellamy talk, and it's always entertaining when Phil is singing or talking about Josh Bellamy. But Helfrich talked about the timing with wide receivers and how the injuries this season to the wide receiver core impacted the rookie Mitch Trubisky. It's a very short soundbite, and then Phil just jump right in.
When you're developing a young quarterback and there's difference, it's hard, because he wants that rhythm and the technique and the trust of whatever it is coming out of a route cut, or maybe it's even the quarterback center exchange. Some of those little things that you don't even think about for a young quarterback, they throw him off.
Yeah, you're talking about. I mean, you look back at some of the personnel decisions that you're alluding to. I thought the chemistry that he was building with Trey McBride, who's also a younger player, was evident, if not ridiculously clear. And to have the Josh Bellamy drama and have the favorites of Coach Fox, I don't care what anybody says. I saw it from my own eyes that there was a cohesiveness, there was an understanding for a young quarterback. I mean, we emphasized that on the show. It didn't matter to Fox. What mattered to Fox was Fox and Fox's guys. And Mitch wasn't in the realm of his consideration. I don't care if Ryan Pace is crying at the podium or, Virginia's pissed off again. John Fox was a detriment, as was Dowell. There just was no understanding, and here you are again, a coach clearly and evidently saying that cohesiveness is important. The ability to do it, obviously, number one, is important, but also to be building off it and build consistency. I mean, throw Trey McBride out there, forget that story. How about this story? Kendall Wright comes out one week, has 10 catches, over 100 yards, your first 100-yard receiver for the season. The next week, he doesn't even start the game. It's Bellamy and Inman starting the game. Like, there's no process of comfort in accordance to the quarterback. It just never fucking made sense whatsoever to me, let alone the fucking fantasy football drafter. It made sense to nobody along any football lines. The nerd scoring points at PFF didn't understand it either. So all of us were on the same page and not understanding, but it happened. And I think this coach gets it. I feel like it's evident that the direction is the best are going to play, the best that are going to be able to do what we ask them. If they're undrafted, if they got $1 million bonus, we're still going to throw it to them because winning is most important. We're not worrying about money. We're not worrying about anything but winning. And if it takes money to pay for it, then you got to get it. You got to feel the vibes. And trust me, a part of Shayne's great point of him not wanting that recruiting process, there is a recruiting process and a scouting process that these coaches are going to have to go through moving forward in addressing that receiver position. Are you going to do it in the draft? Are you going to get a veteran? You know, that's a part of the plan. Everybody's talking about, Ridley there. What do you think? You got to think about what's going to happen in regards to free agency first. Do they go out midnight and pick up 2 receivers and re-sign a Kendall Wright or an Inman that night, and then all of a sudden receiver doesn't become a priority right now? That's why mocks to me make no sense right now. But really, ultimately, this receiver position, guys, has got to be something that's, clearly the focus as well as the coach addressing it. And I think availability was in his recognition there, that they weren't healthy all the time and they weren't used all the time. There was no consistency for this quarterback. So when the PFFs and these Jagamos are taking shots at Mitchell Trubisky and a rookie season, I think you got to stay away from those kind of people and start listening here and telling friends to listen here. Because if I look at the 2017 season, and I'm interested into what you and Shayne think about this, one of the brightest spots for me is Mitchell Trubisky. And I think that's actually the best, brightest spot coming into 2018, even if Fox was retained and I was going to go fucking burn down Hollis Hall or whatever. Excuse me, scratch that, not burn it down. I'll knock the
That would make
down.
A really great song.
Wouldn't it? And
don't give him any more ideas, Bears girl.
So that Mitchell Trubisky is the brightest thing that the Chicago Bears have going for them after season, in my mind. Now you're getting these coaches that are going to be in communication, and on top of him, with the process of understanding that availability and talent and consistent cohesiveness, I think you got to love where this process is going.
Shayne, speaking of process, one of the many interesting points about this press conference was when Helfrich was asked about college offenses now infiltrating the NFL, which is something that I have been preaching for the last 2 or 3 years, is, with the CBA and the lack of practice time and so forth. Mm-hmm. The NFL has to start moving more towards college type offenses and stuff, because that's what the players know. Don't stay stuck in the old, offenses and stuff.
Jagamos.
Help these guys out.
Oh, Lord.
So this is
Amen, Lord.
This is what Helfrich said regarding that topic.
Yeah, I think you're seeing, and I heard somebody the other day call it, the trickle up effect of whatever that means, college football to the NFL, and I think in the past that certainly didn't happen. It's again, it's a little bit easier to be kind of experimental in college, because you can, I don't want to say waste a play, but you can waste a play and come back and make it happen. Whereas in the NFL, there's just a lot fewer plays, and the ball is of utmost importance, obviously, but you can't just waste one. But I think that Alex Smith is an example of a guy who can do a lot of things, both with his arm and his feet, and just the presence of that, just the possibility of that. If you make, some of these guys, these edge rushers, these, backside backer, just hesitate for a half second, you have a shot.
Here's the thing, Shayne, is that that's the exact perfect example of the difference between a Dow Loggins
Jagger mode
and a Mark Helfrich.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, you think?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
what did, a couple shows ago, Aldo, you asked us what we wanted to see in our new head coach, and I mentioned, a young, enthusiastic, forward-thinking, media-savvy coach, and that's really exactly the staff that he hired. That's exactly who he is. And the forward-thinking part is you saw Nagy come right out and say he wanted to hire guys on the offensive side of the ball that could help him in areas that he wasn't really, comfortable with yet at this point. And, just like with what Helfrich said, and Helfrich is a guy that gets painted with that Oregon brush, Chip Kelly, that it's a lot of gadget play, and it's not that's not true. Helfrich himself even talked about, he got his start under Dirk Cutter at Arizona State, and they're running a pro style offense there.
Do your research.
This isn't just the Chip Kelly, spread attack, and we're gonna score just as quick as we can. You're gonna take bits and pieces from that, obviously. I mean, he ran that at Oregon because that's what his roster really dictated him to run there. But this is where Nagy is looking ahead. Nagy, you see
trickle up.
Yeah, the trickle up effect, like you said. You saw how diverse the Kansas City offense could be. Now he's picking from the college ranks from a guy that's really run a pro-style system at Arizona State, and he's also under the Chip Kelly, spread them out concept and offense, and really use the entire field and don't let him breathe. And you want to talk about something totally different from where we come from, Phil. I can already hear him, thinking about where's Michael Burton gonna come into all this.
What?
But it's the entire thing. It's really hard to grasp a hold of, because this is so non-Chicago like. It's almost like we're dreaming at this point. Like, how did this really happen to us?
Oh my God!
In Chicago, you're hearing guys say exactly what you want to hear. You don't have a bumbling idiot up there, openly lying to you and saying, I don't want to be myself in front of you guys because, I just don't want to. It's, it's the best of both worlds. And like I said, I don't want to poo-poo how important the press conference is. It's exactly what we needed to happen happened. And with these last couple of pressers with Nagy and the offensive staff. But moving forward, if we go out and win 3 games this year, this press conference is going to mean nothing. It's got to translate to the field, and that's my point more than anything.
Jesus, what a bummer, man. 3
Let me
games.
say this. Football is a oblong ball. It bounces crazy. There's 2 points to piggyback off Shayne. One, Shayne talked about several philosophies that are in Coach Helfrich's background that built him up to be the coach he is. And Nagy the same thing. And Vic, the same thing. So when your offensive coordinator is pulling a play out of his ass from 1997 Tampa Bay Buck game, that's his, I'm just going to grab a play. We're talking about our constant shows and audio recorded of Phil and Shayne and Aldo commenting, and Aldo asking me, what is he doing wrong? what should he be doing? Again, not to pat this show on the back. I'm going to fucking stand up and applaud. Because it's stepping into what Aldo was saying. The modern day football, where spread option game fits the talent. You incorporate what the talent does to your philosophy. And remember, I talked about that being one of the points my father taught me as a young guy coaching. You got to assess your talent to what you want to do offensively, not, oh, this is what we do and that's what we're going to do. And that's what Fox not only said, Jagamos did on the football field with his offense and the defense. Now you jump to today, and yeah, Shayne, it is and it is, but it's everything we asked for, and it's also the truth. So that type of realness is, to me, yeah. Even if they go 5 wins next year,
what?
We're gonna document the difference, because injuries, like I was saying at the top, the ball is weird. It bounces funny. Injuries happen, and that can dictate seasons and records. So the final record isn't going to tell the story for me just yet, because I think when you hire a first-time head coach, Aldo, one really tremendous thing that only the show is going to point out to you is that he's surrounding himself with other former head coaches. So even the kid Fury, the wide receiver coach, was a head coach, Division II college. Head coaching experience. Right here, Helfrich, the offensive coordinator, head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Vic Fangio, let's be honest. You saw what he is today. Guy honestly should be a fucking head coach. Not going to lie. That's a guy that across all races, creeds, color, he doesn't give 2 fucks. He's a football guy, and he's going to get the most out of his team. And I feel like no doubt in my mind today you saw Vic's personality, because the undertone of whatever Fox was saying prior to any kind of meeting, or guys, we don't say anything. We answer whatever the head coach would say, you have to be loyal to that. Today I saw a personality from Vic that he only shows behind the scene, or has only been able to. And really, that kind of experience throughout staff that he's building, and I know I'm missing another head coach in there, but the point is, the guy's playing it right, because guess what he's doing, Aldo? And I'm talking about Nagy. He's leaving his ego at the door. He doesn't say, this is my system, this is what I'm going to run.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Chicago Bears head coach, and he's excited about the guys he's putting on his team to help him get to where he has to go. And that, to me, is what you're getting from this fucking show and from the freaking Bears finally. Like, I'm not selling fucking, what is it called, Shayne? I'm not kissing the Bears' ass. I'm not.
Okay, Phil, wrap it up.
Exactly. I'm just saying, we're not, what's the word? Fair weather. I'm not giving you a hype session. I'm finally, I can't, on just last point, Bear Girl, I just can't emphasize this enough. I finally feel like throughout the staff, because there were times where I was like, yeah, they got a great coach. They got a great coach. You know, they got a great positional guard. They got good defensive court. Finally, high stand. I mean, Furry, Nagy, the fucking how do we say Helfrich?
What?
These guys come with fucking personalities, knowledge, and a plan. I can't be more excited. Now they got to go do it. I agree with Shayne, but I feel like for the first time in my lifetime that they got the right guys to teach technique and fundamentals and bring it onto the practice field and really help this young quarterback.
Oh my God, fine.
Vocal fry.
All right. Man, about 20 minutes ago, you said something that would have been a great transition to Vic Fangio, but that was 20 minutes ago. So I do want to transfer over to Fangio's portion of the press conference. And Helfrich said a lot of other things at the press conference today, and I'll share those at our website, bearsbarroom.com. And I also want to let people know that if you tuned in hoping to hear Trey Busey's Steak and Whiskey, unfortunately, he can't be here today. He had a little work accident. He's going to be on IR for a little while. We wish you well, Alec Lifschultz.
You got to rub some pussy on that wound.
He's probably getting some pussy. I hope he's not being a pussy by not coming on the show.
No, that's not him. You know
I don't think Trey Biz is afraid to step up in the pocket.
No. There's only two reasons why Trey would not be on the show. One is injury, and two is pussy. All right.
So basically, he's getting both right now.
Probably.
So
Probably. Fangio said a few interesting things, and the guy fascinates the hell out of me because, you know, I keep talking about how important it is to be a great communicator and so forth. Well, frankly, Fangio is not that, but you know, you can't discard somebody as being a great leader, despite the fact that they're not a great communicator. They're not, you know, effusive with their words and articulate and all that stuff. No, Fangio gets leadership quality because he connects with players in his own special way. So when he was asked today at the press conference about what he thought about the players endorsing him to return as the defensive coordinator, this is what Vic said.
Well, it's obviously better that it's positive and not negative, you know. You know, it's good, but I don't think it's necessary, you know, in that, from the regards that I think sometimes in these processes where teams are changing coaches or thinking about changing coaches or hiring coaches, I don't always think it's good to get the opinion of players sometimes because there's emotions involved there, and I think sometimes it can mislead people that are looking for something to hang a decision on. But there are some players that are good guys to bounce things off of. But, I mean, I'm generally happy that positive things were said. I'm not trying to disregard that. But I think everybody needs to be careful that.
Shayne, this is why the guy is not a head coach, because he's getting endorsed by his players, and he's saying, don't listen to them.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. Vic reminds me of that guy that, you know, and his wife says, honey, how does this shirt look on me? He's like, well, it doesn't exactly look good. You're a little fat. I mean,
that's mean.
Doesn't look bad, but, you know, he's just going to tell you point blank, and that's that again. I love that part of Vic Fangio.
Yep.
That's, you know, very, very refreshing, and you know, it's as funny as what he said, Aldo. There is some truth to it. I mean,
yes,
you don't want to, you know, at the end of the day, these guys, you know, Brian Urlacher wanted Dick Duran back. He wanted Lovie Smith back. So
what?
You know, it doesn't, just because they play football doesn't mean that they're making the right business decisions moving forward.
Yep.
And you know, there is a lot of that. But you see guys like Akeem Hicks, like Danny Trevathan. You hear a guy like Kyle Fuller, you know, praise Vic Fangio, and this is where it all ties in for me. The offense has been inept for a long time. Well, they got the quarterback. Now they're bringing in this offensive staff and these offensive coaches. So this is firing up guys like Mitch Trubisky, like Jordan Howard, like Tariq Cohen. Harry Heestand is coming in. Kyle Long, you see him getting fired up. Cody Whitehair. So the offensive side of the ball, these guys are all getting this renewed enthusiasm about 2018. Now on the defensive side of the ball, they're getting their leader back. They're getting Vic Fangio back. Yeah, it is. It's moving over to the other side of the ball. You know, and although you talk about him not being a head coach, well, he really is a head coach in Chicago right now. He's just doing it on the defensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. And I hear those comments that, just because you're praising me, don't you fucking think for 1 second that I'm going to kiss your ass and that you're not going to work hard for me. I think he's kind of sending a message that, hey, guys, this is time. You heard him say, well, we were statistically we were pretty good, but, we still only won 5 games. That's him putting his guys on blast pretty much that just praised him. He's no dummy. He knows that the Bears defense has to play better, and that's going to be the linchpin to this whole process moving forward on that side of the ball. So I was really glad that he didn't come out and bow down to the players and kiss their ass for the positivity. He's still being a head coach, and he's making these guys aware that there's still a lot of hard work moving forward, and that was good to see too.
Phil, before you jump in, let me play this soundbite from Vic Fangio because it goes exactly to what Shayne was saying.
I think the most important thing we have to do is improve the guys that we already have, regardless of who we might get in the draft or free agency. I mean, I think guys like Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Danny Trevathan, Leonard, Eddie Jackson, I know I'm going to miss him. I think they all have a lot more to give to us than we've seen. And it's our job to get them to improve and become even better players. That will be more important to us than anybody we can acquire between now and whatever our first game is. So, and I know it's always sexy to talk between now and the first game, who you're going to draft, who's the free agency, et cetera. But we got to get our so-called good players playing even better, and that will be critical.
That is fucking brilliant, Phil. Brilliant.
Yeah, it is, because it's what Shayne was talking about. It's a mental game.
Right.
I always say this. You have to be a manipulator to the talent. It's praising them, but also putting them in check, recognizing the record, as Shayne was saying, as well as the talented players, but we need to get more out of them. It's addressing them in a manner that I'm back, motherfuckers, and I love you, but we are fucking gonna be ready, because I know this for a fact, guys. Okay, it's not bullshit. There was hindrance and pushback for Vic in this defense, whether, he could praise anybody he wants, but ultimately, my wife cleaning up the room. Sorry.
She wants you in the bedroom.
She was cleaning up the room.
What is she?
Baby fever.
What is she wearing? Yes, exactly. What is she wearing? That's the key here.
Ooh, she's in her pajamas.
Silky pajamas.
Wearing her Bears silky. No, it's fleecy.
Nothing is going to turn on Phil more than his wife wearing something with the Bears. That'll get him hard on.
She's got her Bears thong on.
She's wearing her Cutler jersey that Phil bought her.
Oh my God.
I bought her an Atoshin jersey. See, I wanted to teach barflies
at the Baby Gap.
Yeah, you gotta get your own jersey because the player movement is such. All these guys spending money. I learned the hard way buying a Julius Peppers throwback. Right now, I want to throw that shit out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that.
I wasted that money on that. I love the throwback look. Yep. But I ain't wearing a Peppers jersey.
No.
So maybe I'll raffle that off on fucking.
Hey, don't you remember after the draft last year, Aldo put out a public service announcement telling people not to go out and buy Trubisky jerseys. Do you remember that? How do you feel about that now, Aldo? Would you go out and buy one?
Hey, I would not go out and buy one.
We gotta pull that tape.
I was buying Bears paraphernalia recently, and I looked at the Trubisky jersey, and I said, hey, you know what? It would be nice, but I gotta stick by my rule. You have got to play 4, 5, 6 good years of football, or any sport. I have a Sammy Sosa baseball shirt somewhere in my closet, and I just won't wear it because the guy's a dick. And I don't care how many home runs he hits.
Did you see him dye his skin?
Is it because he's white now, Aldo, or are you a racist?
Exactly. Why are you hating on my white people, y'all?
Hey, I have nothing against white people, but when they're black and they're pretending to look white, then we got a problem.
Don't matter if he's black or white.
Don't get me started on that. All right.
But seriously, it was a complete showcase of getting his team, his players, to know that he's not only going to be fucking back, but you better be ready, because he felt, I'm telling you, there is a relief that he feels like you're not now competing with the offensive side because of their fucking stupid offensive coordinator. Now you have legitimacy on the other side of the ball, and really Shayne hit it right on the head. He is given this freedom as being the artillery in the Army now. He's the colonel over on the other side of the football. He's essentially a head coach.
Yep.
And he's got that energy about him and that pep in his step again, and that's awesome.
John Fox, just before we move off this real quick,
sure.
Adam Hogue and Adam Johns, their podcast, they had that segment, what does the Fox say? Mm-hmm. And they had that one quote on there when John Fox says, I'm not coaching the offense, or I'm not an offensive coordinator, I'm not a defensive coordinator, and I'm not a special teams coordinator, but I coordinate all three. Just, you think about that. It's really kind of letting you in behind the scenes that he was deciding what was going on offense. Mm-hmm. We had Vic Fangio here, but he was still putting his fingerprints all over that game plan. He admitted it right there.
Exactly.
And in special teams also. And I said that's kind of alludes to what Phil was getting at, that there was obvious tension between Fox and Fangio, and Fox comes right out, and that quote from on Hogan John's show just kind of always really resonated with me and stuck out, because really, does John Fox really need to go into, you want your head coach involved a little bit, obviously, and he's got to make his thoughts known, but does he need to be coordinating the defense when you have a guy like Vic Fangio? Really?
Hell no.
And I said, exactly. So I think that there's, it really proves to what Phil is saying, that there was quite a bit of animosity there. And now that we've turned the page on that, you heard Vic say today, John pretty much let me do everything I wanted to do. And I'm not going to overlook that pretty much, being thrown in there either, because
what is he going to say?
Exactly.
He's not going to bash him.
Exactly. He's not gonna piss all over him now that he's out the door.
Exactly.
But I think just that pretty much him stressing that part, I'm not gonna overlook that. I think that might have been one little verbal barb thrown Fox's way now that he's gone.
Another Shayne-ism caught.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it have been cool if Fangio would have said, well, as I was thinking about my decision to return, I did ask myself this question: if I have to report to another John Fox type motherfucker, no way am I coming back.
That's mean.
Oh my God!
It would have been on every news outlet, just like that. The Tabor quote with Cohen not being on the Browns board.
Yeah.
That's on every fucking outlet of NFL outlet right now. That quote to bash the Browns.
Well,
I saw my tweet, Aldo.
Yes.
At that.
I did.
It's like all of these motherfuckers that are tweeting about it didn't even know who Tariq Cohen was either. Uh-huh. So shut the fuck up. Stop taking a shot at the Browns. The Bears obviously did their homework. Give Ryan Pace some fucking credit.
Yeah, he didn't even have to buy that fucking bridge in Arizona that was for sale.
Matt Miller had him fired after the draft, according to his executive.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Tabor, I want to play. I've got 3 or 4 really good sound bites from him, but I want to play one more from Vic Fangio as he's evaluating the 2017 defense.
There's no doubt strides were made. Not enough. I think it's a wrong picture to paint that, the defense was great and the rest of the team wasn't. We're 5-11. If we were a great defense, we'd have more than 5 wins. And, there's a lot of room for improvement there.
And that's exactly what Shayne was saying earlier in the show. That Fangio toughness, that tough love. And I know you guys hate it when I say anything nice about the Minnesota Vikings, but that is exactly Mike Zimmer. That Mike Zimmer, it will tell a player, you fucked up, you son of a bitch, motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. And that same player will say, I love that coach.
Oh, my God, who the hell cares?
I love that coach. And Fangio strikes me in that same manner where and Buddy Ryan of the Chicago Bears, the same way. He gave Mike Singletary, Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, he gave all those guys tough love. And in the end, those guys were bawling their eyes out when Buddy Ryan passed away. The loyalty that he engendered with that tough love, because these guys are coddled from the time they're 10 years old and they're already 250 pounds. They're coddled, and they appreciate it when someone is straight with them. And the ones that don't appreciate it, those guys, unfortunately, are losers. They're not playing in the NFL anymore.
Or they're coaching in the CFL.
All right. Now, I got to tell you, when I first heard the announcement that Chris Tabor, is it pronounced Tabor or Tabor or whatever? I don't know, whatever the fuck it's.
Tabor, yeah.
When it was first announced that he was coming, to the Bears, immediately you think, oh, shit, Cleveland Browns? He was a special teams coordinator for the Cleveland Browns? But, the more I learned about the guy and the more I heard him today, I was fucking totally impressed with this guy. He actually reminded me a little bit of John Gruden in some of his speech patterns, which I won't hold against him because Gruden, I think, is vastly overrated. But I want to share this as the first of the 3 or 4 sound bites I have from Chris Tabor, where he is sharing his philosophy for how he runs his special teams.
Say we're going to be an aggressive unit that plays with good judgment. And, I think any teams that I've been a part of or that have been successful is I don't want the coordinator going home at 5 o'clock at night and thinking he doesn't really have to worry about anything. And I think there's some weapons here that can make a coordinator stay up at night.
Isn't that brilliant? You want the opposing team coordinator worried. Like Devin Hester made the opposing team coordinator worried. He made the head coach worried. He made them regret kicking him. And, I mean...
Michael Burton, 4th and 1. How are we going to stop that guy?
How are we going to do it?
This guy, I think he has got the philosophy. And the fact that he survived, 3-4 head coaches, 3 general managers, whatever, speaks to something about this guy, right?
When people were assessing, I tweeted this out there, because Tabor comes from Dave Tobe. He was here in Chicago under Tobe. So the philosophies that you so readily saw under Dave Tobe, as Tobe was the reason why Devin Hester and Robbie Gould and these players, what was his name? Number 94, Shayne. What was that kid running down? Pro Bowl.
Brendan Iambadejo.
Thank you. Iambadejo.
Tough son of a bitch.
These players went down the field to fucking make plays, and Tabor's a part of that family of thinking. And when you look at numbers to give you reference, it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry, folks. That's why Shayne and Al could bring numbers sometimes, and they're used in eloquent ways here, but they're not the end-all, be-all. When you look at the amount of times a Cleveland offense is punting and how many times they got to cover kicks versus maybe in the rest of the league, then the process of the numbers comes into focus when you're saying there's more shots at it. There's more shots for the opponent to break a run, to make the statistics look awry. So here's a guy that's a really good communicator and teacher that comes from a known family tree. I agree with you, Aldo. I was trying to freaking think of who he reminds me of, and you fucking nailed it, because that's exactly who he reminds me of. That's why
he's the super producer.
Thank you, Bears Girl.
He is.
Hey Phil, real quick, you talk about how the numbers and all that, and it matters how many times the offense is punting. It really goes back to Nagy, the flack that he was taking in Kansas City for the play calls in the second half, and with them blowing that big lead. It's easy to pile on the guy, but if you dive in, if you go back and watch that game, the Chiefs ran 6 offensive plays in the third quarter. 6 offensive plays. 4 of them were runs, and 2 of them were dropped passes that would have been for first downs. But I said that's all of that stuff plays in.
Yep.
And the casual fan will look at that and say, "Oh, that fucking." I saw plenty of tweets out there saying, "Oh, the Bears, had to rush right out and hire this guy, and this is the dude that blew the lead." In the playoff game, but context matters.
And he didn't in that press conference. He didn't say, well, if it wasn't for the drop passes, he took it all on his shoulders. Yep.
Yeah, and what did he say after that? He goes, "You know what? I'm going to learn from that." And you're not going to hear John. You weren't going to hear John Fox ever say something like that. He was just going to be degrading and talk around in a circle. And that's,
I'm going to learn from that missed challenge, Shayne.
yeah, he really learned his lessons from those, right? It's not like it wasn't a repeated pattern, but
hey, did they fire the review coach, Shayne?
I don't think we ever found out who that is.
I don't think
hopefully.
they
fucking David Hall couldn't fucking find out.
Yeah.
Brad Biggs was too busy asking what restaurant they ate at.
Yeah, that's one of the first questions they should have asked Nagy. So we know
exactly
who's going to be running your booth reviews. Up in the booth when there's a critical call. Who are you going to rely on for that? He'd probably tell them.
He probably would. And let's not fucking overlook how many games come down to critical moments with these plays. This position is more important than people think. And if you have smart people surrounding you with those eyes, I'm fucking at home tweeting it out real time and recognizing shit. I can't even fathom being in the stadium. This is my team. This is my job. And missing it like so badly, like 4th and 1. There was a 4th and 1. Aldo, I remember you retweeting in the last game. Who did we play? The Vikings?
Yes.
It was fucking a clear half-yard short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Up, first down. Didn't even challenge it. Just let the Vikings go. They're better than us, guys. That's what it is. And that kind of stupidity just earmarked the John Fox campaign. It was just horrific. And you're right, Shayne. He probably would reveal that.
I came here for 2 things: to suck some hard candy and suck some dicks.
Well, I played that only because
Virginia.
She doesn't have vocal fry.
I have it on good authority that she was the replay coach up in the booth. She was the one making.
Certainly acted like it.
She sure did.
Her or Magoo.
Yeah, Jesus.
All right.
Sounds like the grandmother from Christmas Vacation.
That's right.
Is Rusty still in the Navy?
Where is he?
All right. Chris also made a huge impression on me when he talked about what it meant to be back with the organization.
I mean, I don't know if you really need to say. I mean, it gives me goosebumps right now. I mean, it's the Bears, and it's obviously a storied franchise. It's a great fan base. It's a city that is a great sports town. That loves all their sports, but you could be a Sox fan or you could be a Cubs fan, but you're a Bears fan, and I think that's exciting. It's fun when you go to a place where football is important and people are passionate about it, and I'm honored and really humbled to be standing here and have this opportunity.
That's right, and if you're not a Bears fan, then get the fuck out of town.
Exactly.
Now.
I like how he drew blood of the barflies right there and just revealed it right there. He just fucking took the barflies' blood and just fucking pulled it out of their arms and just revealed it and said, fucking, this is the Bears, man. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about here on the show. Just,
What?
Just,
they dropped something else, and when they were talking to him too, that I think is very important, is that the Bears don't have a field goal kicker, and Pat O'Donnell isn't under contract. He's a free agent.
Oh shit, he is.
He's getting a clean slate, and I mean, you can say what you want. I think Pat O'Donnell can have his moments, but if he wants like legitimate money, I have zero issue with them looking in a different direction, because I mean Pat O'Donnell has really, for all the hype that he gets, I don't know. I think he's a little bit overrated, and that's going to be really interesting to see how the Bears go about their special teams, in free agency, and I really don't see them. Alabama's got that fantastic punter coming out, but I don't think they're going to invest a draft pick into a punter. He's going to get drafted, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this special teams core shapes up with the field goal kicker and the punter.
Yep.
Yeah, because Santos, he's on IR. So does he maintain, Shayne, or does he become a free agent?
I think he signed just a 1-year deal, and he'd be, he would hit the UFA market. And, I'm sure that he's a guy that they're not going to have any problem bringing back.
I would bring him and the kid, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Nugent. Bring him back too. I like Nugent. I don't know why. He just looks like a fucking football player. And I would definitely get involved in I think you're 100% right. I'd like to see the free agent punter list to see if there's an upgrade there, because we talked about it countless times. At least bring competition in for the guy.
He's never had it since he's been here. He was a 6th rounder from Phil Emery, and it's, we all see his release, how slow it is, and he's got that rugby style punt
Shanks.
That he's transitioned
he's got a lot
to.
Of Shanks.
But to me, I think Pat O'Donnell's overrated for as much hype as the guy gets.
Does he tell dad? Is he a lover of dad jokes?
I don't know. Lance will let us know, I'm sure.
2 more sound bites from Chris Tabor's press conference that I want to play for you. One is this one about Tariq Cohen.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we had a chance to play him on Christmas Eve there, I was extremely nervous about the kid, employee number 29 there. I think he's a dynamic player. And I even stated it. I kind of put him in. It's a big statement, but like a young Sproles, because he's not a real big guy, but he's built well in his lower half. He has some human joystick qualities to him, where he can start and stop and make you miss. It happened when we punted to him one time. Our gunner was right there, and he took a chance. And the other thing that you like about a good returner is he was a risk taker, and you want to have risk takers. I think if we go back in history and you look at Devin Hester, I mean he was a risk taker. But once again, it also follows in the category you got to still use good judgment. So there's going to be times when you're going to want to push that envelope. There's going to be other times where you're going to want to say, hey, a fair catch, and we'll play from there.
How great is that? How great is that? Come on.
It's just football talk. It's just truth.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it, Aldo, real quick, and I know Shayne will want to get it, the dynamic of a coach giving a young returner confidence and building it is really a process, too, of what this kid could do, Cohen. And I'm excited about Mighty Mouse. I call him Mighty Mouse. That's what I see in
I love it.
Here I come to save the day. That means that Mighty Mouse is on the way. Yes,
I don't like the human joystick.
Yeah, I don't like that
really
either.
I like the fact that the coach said it. It was great, but I love the Mighty Mouse, and I'm totally going to steal this terminology. I never really thought about it like this, but I'm totally going to steal this from him because I thought it was funny and smart at the same time. It's the employee number. So employee number 10.
I'm stealing that too. That was pretty cool.
I just love that. I love that.
You think about Tariq Cohen with more confidence?
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it, it's crazy to think about. I mean, that kid's just bubbling with confidence, and get him a little bit more, and it's
Shayne.
Look out.
I think Barry Sanders tweeted his highlight tape, his own highlights, back in the day. Yeah. And I swear to God, I've never put it together like that. But Tariq, I gotta say, in some clips, just fucking reminds you of Barry Sanders. I just hadn't watched it in a long time. But today, in watching it, I gotta say, holy fuck. I was like, that Tariq really does have a real Barry Sanders-esque quality. Credit to Emery Hunt.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully the defense dictates that he can be on the field this year. That's all we can hope.
I think that the one of the important things too to mention is that this coaching staff, a recurring theme in this press conference was about teaching and the importance of teaching. Mm-hmm. And they talked about how to teach. At one point, they talked about you gotta know how a player best learns the things, so that, you know, I learned this in management training. If you've got an employee who is a visual employee, then you want to help teach that person using visual graphics. If you got somebody who is auditory, then that person is a good person to talk to. But a lot of coaches just teach the way they are comfortable, and this coaching staff today clued me in that they're not that way. They are going to teach the way that a guy like Tariq Cohen can quickly grasp at, because he definitely has so many responsibilities, you know, playing receiver, playing running back, playing special teams, playing so many different positions. And you want him to excel at all of those because he's more than capable of doing that. But you've got to have good coaching staff that will teach him that stuff. Now, one other thing regarding Tabor before we move on to our tweets of the week. This, to me, was probably, well, I won't say the best, but one of my favorite questions that was posed by the Chicago media at today's press conference was to Chris Tabor. And at first I thought it was Larry Mayer, and then I said, no, I can't be Larry Mayer. No,
lunch with Larry Mayer.
So I heard it like 2 or 3 times. It's definitely not Larry. I don't know who it is, and I don't have it as part of this clip. But the question was about starters playing on special teams, and I thought that was a really good question, and I'm gonna pick up almost.
Could have been Larry.
It could have been Larry, but it wasn't. It wasn't, because there was no food. Okay. There was no food in his mouth when the guy asked his question. So here is Tabor's response.
The one thing about being a special teams coordinator is understanding the roster. And then how are those guys playing on offense and defense? I think sometimes people think special teams coaches just stand out of practice and wait for their time, when really you're watching practice and seeing what offensive sets and personnel packages the offense and defense are doing, because then as a special teams guy, they're only using him on third down, I can maybe increase his load a little bit as we go through on teams. But you want to be able to have some starters contribute. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you get to game day, there's only 46 players, so you're already limited. And I mean, when you start getting into the numbers, you got your 3 specialists, you got 7 offensive linemen, depending on how many defensive linemen you have. I mean, the numbers, you really get down to probably about 23 players you can pick from. So everybody has to be able to contribute. And I think, special teams are important. They're going to win you games. And you don't want to show up on Monday and say, we lost that game because of special teams. We want to show up on Monday and say, we won because our special teams helped us win the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's the smartest man. He once aced the SAT with a perfect score. He gave Amazon the patent for drone delivery door to door.
Another week, same old thing.
He was tired of delivering the mail.
Holy shit, dude.
That was Mike Glennon-esque. I mean, you actually kicked the ball as a quarterback.
This is the Atoshan gaff.
Hey, listen, I gotta come up with these off my head.
No, you don't have to. You can spend 5 minutes preparing for them.
If I prepare, then they're not as funny. Why are we gonna prepare? What's everybody preparing for? What's the deal with scuba diving? Why do I want to go down and die?
All right, Shayne, save us from these Jerry Seinfeld impersonations.
So there's going to be a little switch up there to the bad and good tweets of the week. There's only going to be one bad tweet because there's so much positivity flowing from Bears fans.
I love it.
Even us here at the Bears Room, I got a couple of good tweets that we can play off of. But I did have one bad one, and we alluded to this a little bit earlier, and we're talking about, we saw Mel Kiper come out with his mock draft today, and Benjamin Albright at Albright NFL had a response to Mel Kiper's mock draft that came out. He said, "Phew, that mock draft is doing what it was designed to do, get people talking rather than to be accurate." Well, no mock drafts are accurate, no matter how many people want to think that they know how this process goes. But more so than anything, what I wanted to bring up with this, and we see, Bears fans included, and Phil brought up, Calvin Ridley. I mean, the flavor of the month right now is Calvin Ridley to the Bears at number 8, and it's so early in the process, and we're all rabid fans that are going to follow this every single move, and there's such a long ways to go. It's going to matter what they do in free agency. There could be trades involved, and I saw somebody tweet out, none of these mock drafts before free agency matter at all. It's just to get, like Albright, he did.
That was me.
Okay, maybe I got to give Phil some credit there. But, it does, like Albright said, he was right. It gets people talking. Mm-hmm. But then where he really screwed it up, he said it's, rather than to be accurate. Well, there's nobody out there with accurate mock drafts. It's nobody knows what's going on. You show me one mock draft that had Ryan Pace trading up one slot to draft Mitch Trubisky last year, and if there was a mock draft.
Aaron Lemming kind of was saying it might happen, but it might not happen.
Those are my favorite Lemming tweets.
Fair.
It might rain tomorrow, but it might not.
Yeah. Eric, you sound like Eric Lambert's article that he put out about the Bears getting a big-time wide receiver. They could go after Demaryius Thomas. They could go after Des Bryant.
They might not.
They could trade for A.J. Green. Nothing is set in stone yet, but it could happen. Well, no shit.
What are the catch words, Shayne?
Yeah,
what are those catch?
Nothing is set in stone. That's
There's another one too they use a lot. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Well, a lot of it's in my opinion.
From what I'm hearing.
Yeah, from what I was told.
From what I'm being told.
But no, back to my tweet. I just, a lot of Bears fans out there. These mock drafts don't matter, and I'll tell you right now, with them mocking a wide receiver to the Bears at number 8. At this point, it's laziness. I mean, I would put good money down. I don't think that's the direction we're headed in the draft. I think you're going to see the Bears go heavy there in free agency, and if a wide receiver drops, into the second or third or fourth round, they're really high on. They'll pull a trigger on a young guy like that. But you see so much of it, and people are like, "How can you pass up Ridley?" Or "How could you draft Ridley there?" None of it matters right now, guys. We got a long way. I mean, the season hasn't even ended yet. Aldo's team is still playing, the Minnesota Vikings.
Skull.
Scold that ass.
Whatever the fuck.
Scold your ass.
But I've been all, I've come.
Don't put BG in the corner, Shayne. Don't put BG in the corner.
I've come around on Albright, but it just kind of irritated me, and he said that wasn't a mock draft for accuracy. Well, there's no such thing, and none of these matter anyway. So that was my single dumb tweet of the week.
He's gonna go too good.
Yeah, I have two good tweets. Yeah, and
I just want to say one thing to top off this, because I think there's a tone and a texture based on this, and you could correct me, Shayne, if I'm wrong, real quick. But the Josh Allen sides of the fence clearly have this war going on, because draft Twitter clearly thinks Josh Allen's not good, but I'm going to stand on the truth, and I'm going to say I believe in Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper, say what you want, he's the godfather of this shit. You know, he is what mocks are and what have you. You might not like him or whatever. I respect the guy.
He really puts in the work. That's for damn sure.
He's not fucking just guessing. He's not flip-flopping. He will change. He's not fucking pulling a Matt Miller. Let's fucking face it. Matt Miller was getting fucking advice after he fucking graded and ranked offensive linemen. He fucked up and kind of let everybody know that he was getting advice from somebody else and switching. How do you fucking switch your order a week before the guys? Seriously, it's ridiculous. So
yeah, I can show you mock drafts from last year at this time that had Deshaun Watson consistently in the second round.
That said he sucked.
Yeah, and
they told me I was crazy for liking Deshaun Watson. That he's fucking nothing.
But I just,
and mind you, I had Josh Allen in front of Watson last year, Shayne.
Yep,
and I'm just being truthful. And I believe that kid with the proper coaching, and Mel's right, Aldo, and I'm sorry.
It's all right.
This isn't a quarterback thing, but it's a truthful show, and I just wanted to defend Kiper for a second. How do you know what Josh Allen, every trait known to man, as Jay Cutler, as Shayne was talking about, maybe if Cutler had this kind of coaching staffs around him, you would have seen something great from him. That coaching is important as well as fit in the scheme, and really, I'll just say that I know Trey Biz doesn't like Josh Allen, but I really believe in Josh Allen. It's going to be a great quarterback. It just depends on where he goes. Oh, yeah.
I don't have the energy to hear Phil fuck up again. Oh, yeah.
He is not he is the smartest man. His intellect is known throughout upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
He once made millions from Kentucky Fried Chicken for inventing the spork.
What? We're official
smartest man. And this is a change. It's a great tweet this week.
Yeah, the Marsoff spork. Here we go.
There you go.
I gotta turn my hearing aid off. Shit's about to get loud. You motherfuckers.
No, these couple of positive tweets that I was focusing on, we kind of alluded to them, talking about the press conference, but Adam Hogue tweeted out, Vic Fangio on Trubisky was something that he really considered, and Vic said Mitchell is part of the equation because I think he has a chance to be really, really good player no matter who's coaching him. I brought it up earlier that was something that really, really stood out with me. Vic wasn't, kind of directed, they didn't push him in that direction to even talk about Mitch. I think it's a big deal that he brought it up by himself. And I think that is a real big deal because the old Grizzly defensive coordinator realizes that, if this kid stays the course, and he's around him every single day. I mean, he's designing defenses to stop quarterbacks. He deals with Aaron Rodgers twice a year, Matthew Stafford, and whoever the fuck is playing for Minnesota every week. But you know, he I think it's a big deal that he brought Mitch into the equation, that he was a factor with why he came back to Chicago. Yes, the money's the number one factor, even though Eric Lambert says that that's usually not a factor, but it is. And how it's been a really, really long time that we have coaches making decisions to come back, you know, based on the guy on the other side of the ball. And I think it's a big deal in Chicago, and it's a fantastic sign for this franchise moving forward. So
thank you, Jesus.
It wasn't really a tweet by Adam Hogue, but he was the one that I screenshotted, and it was just it's something that I think matters, and Bears fans should really take great pride in, because it speaks volume that the most important position on the field was a factor in Vic Fangio returning to Chicago.
Now we fired John Fox. Now we fired John Fox. Now we fired John Fox. Now we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good tweet, and I'm glad that you picked out two positive ones, because you clearly could have picked out 20 with the good vibes that are happening here. I am in total accord there. Phil, you want to comment on that at all?
Oh hell no! It was tremendous and a great grab by Shayne, un-Bellamy-like, and really pulling it in, because I think it's important that you know somebody who's committed to the process. He revealed that there were completely other options, that he sat and thought about it, and that Mitchell Trubisky was one of the deciding factors. I think it's immensely important. It was something I wrote down. I screenshotted it as well. When I heard him say it, I was like, wow. You know, that right there is so important. He's revealing to you his belief in that young quarterback. And there was one point he made, and that Shayne didn't touch on, but I just wanted to, he was talking about mobility and how important that is in today's NFL. And do you think Vic Fangio saw that young quarterback against the Denver Broncos in that first preseason game? And just like every football coach I know said, we got something special here. And then ultimately, Mike Glennon, the opposite of mobile, is your quarterback. It just didn't sit well. So this right here just says the future. I mean, you can't. It's such a positive thing, Shayne.
Guys, we lived this already when you think about it. When Emery fired Lovey, they went after Rod Marinelli. They wanted him back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they made a concerted effort to bring him back. You know, he didn't say, I'm going to come back because Jay Cutler's here. He bolted to Dallas to get out of the situation here. And I think it's a big, big deal. And it's one that's I don't think it's going to be front page news in Chicago, and it really should be. They're not going to do. They'll focus on something that probably doesn't really matter too much. But that's a big, big deal when your defensive coordinator is saying that the quarterback, who you just made a huge move in the draft for, is a reason, a factor why he came back.
Let's see. Let's scout the papers tomorrow, Aldo. That'll be a Bears Barroom exclusive. Will somebody pull that? Because I got to agree with the smartest man here, Aldo.
That's why
that should be your headline. That is why he's the smartest man.
Two things. Number one, Aaron Rodgers was being used as a lure to Vic Fangio to go up to Green Bay, at least according to some of the Green Bay Packer reporters. And isn't it weird how it seems like the Packers are always interested in Bears personnel, players, and coaches and so forth, and the Bears have never. I can't remember the last former Packer that played with the Chicago Bears, and not that
Edgar Bennett.
Edgar Bennett. Look at that. Who is, by the way, looking for a job right now as a coach. And I noticed that the Bears did not bother interviewing him.
Is he with the Raiders? He might have gotten picked up.
Did he go there? Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I thought I saw it. I'm just saying.
I thought didn't they take him out as offensive coordinator, but they're going to like reassign him to a different.
Oh, it could be.
Give him a different title. I think so. I think he's still there.
Could be.
I think he might have left. I think the Raiders. I don't know. Dustin Reagan Badia might be on top of it at some point.
Of course he is.
He's probably on top of Jay right now.
I knew it was coming.
Oh shit! I forgot what my second point was, so it doesn't matter. We move on.
Who's the Republican in the Reagan Padilla house? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He is the smartest man. He once counted every lick to the center of the Tootsie. He'll cut off your man bun and tell you and Trey who needs pussy. He's the smartest man.
What?
And this is a positive tweet.
And it's also a true story. 107 licks to get to the middle of that fucker.
Really?
True
there
story.
You go.
Yes, sir. Yes, 107.
107, Nicky. Nicky's practicing for. Yeah, he's single.
Get a Tootsie Pop out, Nicky. Don't drop it and smash it, you fucker. Just lick it 107 times.
I had this girl tell me in college, men should suck on more lollipops.
Oh my God, fine.
That phallic symbol of them doing it falsely promotes women to motivate them to oral sex. So the single listeners in the show, I mean, this girl seemed to know what she was talking about. She ended up becoming a Hollywood movie producer.
Really?
Married men everywhere running out to Walmart to buy Tootsie Pops right now. Get on it, babe.
No. You know, what the fuck am I doing?
I'll put 3-4 of those fuckers in my mouth.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
Oh my God.
This guy's walking around with Aldo every time we see him now. He's going to have a lollipop.
Richard Strong had a whole fucking bag of them in his mouth.
I know. You know why he gets laid.
All right. A lot of people are wondering. I'm sorry. A lot of people are wondering why we're laughing so much about these Richard Strong jokes. So we may have to fill them in someday. No, not today. All right, here we go. Go ahead. The second good tweet of the week.
Second good tweet of the week, and I thought maybe you did pull it, and I missed it, but. It's from J.J. Stankovitz, and this is alluding to the
just the name in itself.
Yeah, he's the guy that had the when he talked to Vic, and Vic told him to do his background work or whatever.
Do your research.
When he ended the thing. Do your research.
Do your research.
But J.J. Stankovitz tweeted out, new Bears special teams coordinator Chris Tabor on his coaching philosophy, adapt or die. The dinosaurs didn't figure out, and they're extinct. And that's another quote right there that I think can't be undersold, because, you know, you can actually spin that enough to think that maybe he was taking a shot at the piece of shit that we had at head coach that we just launched. In a way, I don't think he was, but I mean, if you want to spin it that way, I think you can. And the adapt or die thing is something that we've waited so long for in Chicago. And Phil, you know what I'm talking about. You'd see the Bears go out and play a good second quarter, and you'd be like, all right, got a little bit of momentum. Hopefully they can make some halftime adjustments and come out and attack this team. And it never happened. And it's, you know, I know Tabor was talking about special teams, but it's really about the entire team. You want to have that attack mentality, or you're going to die, and you want to be able to adapt to whatever happens. It's not the defense is dictating that Tariq Cohen is off the field. You know, that's not adapting, and that's why you win 14 games in 3 seasons. That quote right there is a quote that if I'm Matt Nagy, that's something that I'm putting up for all the players to see. Adapt or die, and that's it's a perfect quote for the Chicago Bears team. They've turned the page. They've moved into the 21st century, and I really think that could be a motto for this entire franchise moving forward. And that was one of those comments today that really got me fired up and got me excited about the 18 season. Adapt or die. I think it's big time. And I think it's a perfect tweet and perfect rallying cry for this team moving forward.
I totally agree with that.
Totally agree.
Phil,
absolutely.
You don't want to disagree just for kicks?
That would make a really great song.
No,
right.
Because I think we got to maintain this roller coaster ride of positivity.
I love it. All right, so here's what we're doing next. We're doing something special with Bear Up, Bear Down. I've asked the guys to replace their Bear Up, Bear Down with what conference title candidate is going to be up this week or down this week. In other words, which of the 4 teams is going to perform at the highest level that looks like a Super Bowl winner, and which team is going to perform like a dud, like they don't belong in a conference championship game. So, Shayne, I'm going to have to piss you off here because I'm going to play the long version of the song so I can go take a piss. And by the way, I love this song. I fucking woke up this morning humming this song, so fuck you, Phil, for doing this to me.
Hey, I try to bring great music. I don't understand why Shayne hates on it.
Did you notice he said he was going to go take a shit in honor of it? Phil?
I heard him say piss. I heard him say piss. So
all I know is I got
mouth.
All I know is I got 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
Me and Shayne will talk while you go.
Okay.
Take your piss. You could sing it if you want, Shayne. That would be awesome.
Bears. Bar room.
A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up.
This week, Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw, the smartest man in the bar rooms, bear ups and bear downs of the week.
A bear up, a bear down. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. They're watching the tape and weighing. The game is done. The Bears have lost and won. They're playing the tape and grading. Bear up, bear down. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. They're watching the tape and wait.
I'm back.
Oh, finally.
Man, that felt good. That was like sex. You take that long Austin Powers piss, or you just go on at it for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. All right. Bear up. Who wants to go first, guys?
I think Phil's still rubbing one out to his song. I haven't heard him.
I picture that. You know what? Fuck. On our next show, Phil, are you back? Because I want him to hear this. On our next show, I am going to play a clip of Draft Dr. Phil singing the Firefox song and getting the lyrics that he wrote, getting them wrong. He forgets the lyrics. This is gonna. I should do it as a video because it's funnier when you see him. Phil, are you back? Fuckers, really takes a long time to come.
This just turned into the best show ever. You shut the fucking music off, and now Phil's gone too.
All of a sudden, people are tuning in. So you gotta listen to this. Phil's not on, but you know this music video, the Firefox music video.
Yeah,
he shot himself lip syncing to the song, but he was actually singing along. And I'm trying to edit this thing together, and there's no good shots because he kept fucking up the lyrics, and so it wouldn't lip sync with the actual song. So I'm gonna actually make a video of it so that we can have a good laugh.
Typical diva. Typical diva.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
What happened now?
Nothing happened, Phil.
I'll hear about it tomorrow. I'll hear about it all tomorrow. I knew it was something about me. Fucking gossip girls over here.
Talking to you for 5 minutes and you weren't even there.
Were you?
Thought you went all Jose on us.
Hello?
Hello?
Staff sucks.
Oh, you think Jose listens to our show?
I would say
nobody says anything.
Maybe he listens to it and doesn't admit it to us. I don't know. Is that a chance?
I don't know. I wish he would come on. You know, we want him back on the show. You know, in some role, some capacity. You know,
do we have a segment with Jose?
A segment for Jose where he shows up like once a month. We love you, Jose.
It's called Will He or Won't He? Just everything.
No, we should call it the fuckity fuck. Watch, this is the theme song. All right, we're doing bear up, bear down, and again, the concept here is that Shayne and Phil are going to pick the team that they feel is going to be the most impressive this weekend, and the team that they feel is going to either flop or just not be as impressive as the other three teams playing. So, who wants to go first, fellas? Should I spin the bottle? All right, here it goes.
Spin it.
Spin it.
Shayne, you go first.
It's a fucking lock. Like,
yeah.
It's like Mike Glennon's coin toss. It's a guaranteed win.
He's got to be good at something.
He looks up at you.
Yeah.
Mike
exactly.
Glennon?
I'm talking about Aldo, not Mike.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that, man? I thought you were the guy that looked.
There is a barfly that's keeping track of how many times Aldo starts with Shayne first. Aldo. Let's spin the bottle. Aldo. Wasn't there a movie Shayne back in the day?
That is what the hell is it? Oh, Shayne! It's a cowboy movie with Alan.
Yeah.
Shayne, don't go away. Yeah, that's a tearjerker, man.
Oh man, my
I've
dad loved that movie.
I've heard that plenty in my life.
Were you wearing a bra or panties on your head?
Just the panties. Just the panties.
All right, Shayne. So who do you have as your bear up?
My bear up. I think you got to go back to the old faithful. I mean, it's more of the same old Tom Brady, the New England Patriots. I mean, this is their 7th straight AFC title game, 6th or 7th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
imagine,
yeah, they're playing at home, and you saw the big story 10 days ago come out with some tension between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and his personal trainer and some of the players and Robert Kraft, and they're the one team in the NFL that you give them that little slice of motivation, they're going to kick that fucking door in and go win themselves another title. And I know Jacksonville is the young up-and-coming dominant defensive team, but I just don't see them.
Points last week.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I can't see them going to Foxborough. I think you're going to see Tom Brady be Tom Brady and do his thing, and I expect them to be right back in the Super Bowl again, where he is pretty much a guarantee every year to get to. It's really amazing that he's doing this at the age that he's doing it, and people are trying to nitpick at every single turn with his age, and maybe he's slipping here, but he's he's still doing it week after week. He's an amazing player, and I really expect that to continue Sunday afternoon.
But Shayne, what about his hand injury? Is that something that you aren't concerned about?
No, I think Doug Marrone put it best. If Tom Brady has to, he'll throw with his left hand, and he's probably still better than a lot of people. I heard him talk about that in practice, that a defender ran into him, and I said, can you imagine what that dude felt like when that happened? I mean, I'm sure hush went over that whole entire practice field, and that guy's like, yeah, I just lost my fucking job if I broke his hand. Can't imagine what that must have been like. But no, I think they have their little nicks and bruises, and if I had to put money down, I'm putting it on Tom Brady every single time.
All right. Well, Phil, you can pick the Patriots too if you want. You don't have to pick a different team, but we're all on the edge of our seat, wanting to know who is your Bear Up player for this weekend.
Well, if I could pick the same team, then I would definitely pick the Patriots.
Really?
They're a model of consistency. They exude confidence in preparation and game planning and performance. I just can't say enough of the double standard that is the NFL new age blogging crew clique. I mean, is it just me, or is it only the Bears have these fucking notorious stupid fucks blogging? Like, is it just that fan base, or is it maybe every fan base has this issue?
Every fan base.
Yeah, I think they all have them.
Every fan base.
Okay, so
there may be more.
Maybe I'm just livid. I live it on my timeline, and I'm like, Barfly sent me these screenshots, and it's just like coaching doesn't matter, and
they just want to push your buttons, Phil. Man, don't let those barflies get to you.
Oh my God!
They
don't get to me. They know how to push you. Right?
Yeah,
you're right.
They want you to come on the show and just fucking rail on these dumbass bloggers, man, because they find it so entertaining.
The Bears blog, is that fucker the dumbest fuck you've ever seen? How are you taking Gabriel, and then there's some Twitter people that actually are supporting the Bears blog as if he's got a source. His source is fucking Ed the Horse.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
It's just ridiculous. Absolutely, I've offered him to come on here, any of them, and I honestly, for the record, I know I'm getting off topic, but it got me fired up because I saw these people, coaching isn't important, and then they're talking about how the Patriots consistently have average receivers and rotate running backs and this, that. It's coaching. That's why they fucking win. They're prepared. They know how to use their personnel appropriately. And they have a great quarterback. That becomes the umbrella for everyone. But there's a reason why he's coached up to be great. He's in a philosophy that works. Matt Castle is in it. They won with this kid who's now with the Colts. What's his name? Brisket?
Jacoby
Brissett. Jacoby Brissett. They won with Jimmy Garoppolo. They win. Get it? We can't win with a fucking Matt Barkley or a Cutler. We can't win because of coaching. That's why this is so important. That's why it gets me so fucking fired up to see these guys talking. Like, just got me amped up for a second. So looking at this Patriots team is the bear up this week. The Bears blog is my fucking bear down this week. You want to fucking spoil it? Oh, sorry. We're not going in that direction. But I just laughed at him taking on Greg Gabriel as if Greg Gabriel doesn't. And then people believe this shit, Aldo. It just drives me to fucking no end that a guy who's been in the league working as the college director, and you could say love him or hate him, I understand. But to say that Greg Gabriel doesn't have your source, it's just comedy when Greg knows fucking so many people in the NFL. It's like some asshole trying to tell me how to fucking block power versus a fucking front. They don't know how to do it. It's ridiculous. Patriots bear up this week.
Shayne, could you imagine like Phil running for office and in a debate, the question is, Phil, how would you deal with the infrastructure problem in the United States? And he would say, well, we have to invest
to an elementary school.
That's right.
What are you going to do for fuck you? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Listen to me.
No, guys. When I'm in these situations, your boy steps up. Come on. I'm in this show. I gotta fucking tell it like it is.
I know, but
I'm the Mad Hatter.
We call the play, and then all of a sudden you changed the play.
I had to. It correlated with coaching. I saw the Bears blog. Oh, now it's not. Remember, he was getting on us because we were wanting to fire Fox. And then 2 weeks later, he's saying we gotta fire Fox like it's an original concept that he came up with.
I don't read his shit, so I don't know. But doesn't Jonathan...
it comes up on my timeline.
Doesn't Jonathan Wood, your old partner...
That's what I was going to say. Thank you. I want to say this for the record.
That's why he's the super producer.
Thank you, Aldo. You're phenomenal right now. I fucking love you. I want to say I love Jonathan Wood. I do. I really like John Wood.
He's a great
tremendous writer, good dude. He comes from a moral place. I don't have any fucking worries about that. Like, there's nothing against him. I call the truth. There's no praise. Dustin works for another website. Do we not fucking praise Dustin? This kid, Tool, he works for Inside the Pylon. Do I not praise him? I'm going to praise. Hodge worked for WGN. We praised who we see.
To be fair, I don't praise Dustin.
by the way, his name is Hogue.
But you get my point. If it's there, it's getting called out. That's what this is. If you are a loyal listener, I am not saying don't follow Ziglinski, the man bun. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just saying he's dumb. And it's fucking stupid. The shit that Heidi Zimmerman, cousin Zimmerman's asking me about his fucking shot at sarcasm. Which was so fucking... I can't believe Shayne didn't pick that. That's the dumbest tweet of the week. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
So, Phil, what you're saying...
didn't fit.
What you're saying is if you like the movie Dumb and Dumber, then you should follow Ziglinski and the Bears blog.
There you go. Yes, they're in that category. Like, am I the only one, Aldo, thinking that there's some, like, you shake your head or wave your head in the air?
What?
I mean... Jesus Christ. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking?
You so dumb.
He is so dumb. Fucking man bun dumb.
So
you didn't even comment on my last effort there. I thought I stepped up big time on your last.
You did. It was
okay.
It was
thank you. I got the man bun in there. I got pussy in there.
All right, we're looking now for the bear down, the one team out of the 4 teams this week, and actually we'll say it's the 3 teams because we know that the New England Patriots, according to Shayne and Phil, are not going to disappoint. So which of those 3 teams are going to disappoint? We begin with Shayne, the smartest man in the barroom, Marcel.
Well, I think it kind of goes hand in hand while Phil's eating his ice cubes over there. I'll explain.
Sorry.
He's mixing a drink or something. He mixing a martini or something.
I did mix a little Cicerone right now.
Oh,
I guess so.
Calm down.
Well
Way
done.
to calm down, Shayne.
I thought it was the metal pea in his brain knocking around now. But no, I think it kind of goes hand in hand to the team that I think is going to ball out, and I think I just can't see. I got to stay right in the same game, and I got to go with my bear down being Jacksonville. I have no faith. I know they showed up in Pittsburgh, but this is a lot more pressure, and unless they can come out and get to an early lead, I just don't see Blake Bortles being the quarterback that can make enough plays for you in New England to get you where you need to go. And Bill Belichick is always going to take your best option away and make your worst option beat you. We see that year after year after year, and I think that's going to be more of the same in New England for Jacksonville. Stranger things have happened. Part of me is taking the easy way out because I don't want to touch that other fucking game just because I hate Minnesota and the bullshit with Philly. That makes me sick, but I'll just stay with Jacksonville, my bear down.
Well, I am disappointed to hear that because I personally am pulling for a Jacksonville Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl. But Phil, who do you got going?
You dumb. Stupid.
He's so dumb.
He's so dumb.
We know that.
How the fuck are you pulling for the Vikings? It just bothers the shit out of me. Like,
well, I'm not pulling for
you
them
know
to
that
win the
friend
Super
you
Bowl.
love, and then they say some racist shit, and you're like,
yeah, I know. I know a few of those people.
that's how I feel every time you're like, I want to see the Jags and the Vikings.
Look at this dude. no.
I'm like, damn, you racist fuck.
Hold on. I'm going to defend myself, but you go ahead and make your pick first.
Okay.
Look at his lips.
I'm going to go with the Minnesota Miracles because
really,
I've never witnessed in my life the kind of tragedy and luck that I saw. You talk about a team crumbling and being up 17-0, control the game, all these compliments, everyone's dancing. Fucking Drew Brees. I mean, if I had to choose anybody in the league who would be my quarterback, I always would choose Ben Roethlisberger. I just think you can win with that fucking guy big time. But I gotta say, those last few months, I've just gone away mesmerized. I've started watching with the Bears against the Saints and just watching this guy distribute the football in Muddy Waters pockets.
Bring him to Chicago. Start him, Bill.
With Carmichael as the head coach. No. But I'm just saying, he's going to be 40 years old. You got to be impressed with how they came back. Should have won that game if a guy makes a tackle. I'm at that point. Can you ride that miraculous wave? Remember the Houston Oilers coming back? Houston Oilers having a huge lead. The Bills came back. They ended up losing ground because of that miracle of a game. I see the Philadelphia Eagles, that their defense is so underrated. All this hype goes to Minnesota. I'm not fucking scared of Minnesota. If we're actually getting a properly officialed football game in both games, the Chicago Bears are right there on the doorstep of beating them. And I look at the Eagles and how they play. Say what you want. Yes, Nick Foles is an oddball. So is Keenum. Now, Keenum's played really well. Not going to take anything away, but this is it. This is all the marbles. And I just really think that Schwartz-led defense is really going to set the tone. They're not home. They're on the road in the cold. I think that's going to matter. And I think a lot of these Viking fans are going to be fucking crying their eyes out, making up the fucking excuses. But sitting next to Bear fans on the couch with a low draft, with a wave down draft pick, and who knows what their quarterback plan is for the future. They got 3 of them on the bench. Are they going with Keenum Aldo? Are they going to go with Teddy? Teddy's tremendous. He should be in the Hall of Fame, according to a lot of Viking fans. I don't know. All I know is the fucking Eagles are going to come home. That crowd is raucous. And I believe that is going to set the tone, and you're going to see the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I cannot argue with anything that you guys have said. You have taken a rational, intellectual approach to your bear up, bear down. All makes total sense. Me, on the other hand, I don't deal with rationality or intellect when I'm picking. I deal with emotion, and my thrill would be that I want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars travel to Minnesota and have a Super Bowl contest that nobody will watch, because those are the 2 smallest markets in all of TV. I mean, who is going to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars and Minnesota Vikings, who have lost, 4 or 5 Super Bowls? Who's going to watch that Super Bowl? Nobody but me, you, and Shayne. That's it. And
who's the halftime performer?
It'd be Justin Timberlake with his own wardrobe malfunction. His dick is going to fall out of his leather pants or something like that. But that is
He's bringing sexy back.
That is my dream. And then on top of that, what I want to see happen is that during that Super Bowl,
here it is.
It's a major snowstorm, snowstorm, and all of a sudden the fucking snow crashes through their roof. And there is fucking thousands of people and under an avalanche of snow. And the Super Bowl becomes all of a sudden something you have to turn on. You have to change the channel from watching Friends or the movie on HBO or whatever the fuck you were watching. You got to tune in, because everybody that went to the Super Bowl is now covered in snow because the roof caved in on that fucking $1 trillion stadium. That's my dream, bros.
These guys creating violence.
Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
It's like McPhee with violence.
Stuffing BJ Rydell in that dumb fucking horn that they blow.
Come on, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun?
I still don't know what the fuck skull is. What the fuck is a skull?
Hey, did you see that they said they have video of Sean Payton doing the skull clap
I saw it.
or whatever the fuck it is?
I saw it, yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Apparently, he was having fun in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's no different than Baker Mayfield grabbing his junk. But the other coach, I forget, was the Oklahoma State coach? Who was it?
Yeah, but would you do that?
Yeah,
would you have balls enough to do that? I wouldn't right there in that
got
spot.
the brass balls. I don't.
Oh, I know.
That was just prior to the last play, and he is taunting the crowd, thinking that this game is over.
That.
He fucked
That
up.
is the ultimate fucking shit and sit down. Holy shit.
It sure is. All right,
the fans must have been getting at him, I'll tell you that.
This is one of my favorite parts of the show is where we do some shout outs
the
to
end?
people at the end, so I can start editing this thing. I got 2 or 3 shout outs, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. First of all, I want to wish Heidi the very best. She's been suffering from pneumonia, and so she hasn't been 100%. Heidi, I know you're down there in Mexico listening in, and I know also that every time we put out a new show, you get happy. So I'm hoping that you're happy, feeling better, and this show, or this portion of the shout-outs, is dedicated to you, mi amiga. Also want to shout out George T. Ray, who tweeted this. Congratulations on his grandson, Devon Dotson, on this selection to being named a McDonald's All-American High School basketball player. That is outstanding. It's going to happen March 28th in Atlanta. Let me tell you, I worked at McDonald's for a while and saw how they treat those guys during this basketball tournament. They treat them like superstars. Devon Dotson is going to have a great time. George, I hope you can get down there and enjoy your grandson being treated like a superstar. And I wish him lots of luck if he decides to pursue a career in the NBA. Then go for it, and I hope he does well. And then my final shout out is to Nelson Daniels. Nelson Daniels, who has changed his Twitter handle to Janelle Lynn Daniels, and I was wondering, who the hell is this? And he reached out to me and says, hey, it's Nelson. I changed it to Janelle because he's giving birth. The baby is due, not him, but his lady friend, his wife and girlfriend.
That would be a bar room first.
One of our barflies.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is
pregnant.
Sometime in July, around the 4th of July, he's expected to, his girlfriend is expected to give birth to a little girl that they've already chosen to name Janelle Lynn Daniels. And so, Nelson, congratulations on that. That's a shout out for you. Now, let me turn it over to Phil, who usually has, I don't know, 1, 2, 3,000 shout outs.
Oh, is Shayne? Do you have any shout outs, Shayne?
Shayne-o.
Not a single one.
What the?
Why don't you shout
trying
out?
to get your fucking followers count up.
No, I'm good. I'm creeping my way up there. We'll get there.
I've actually got an idea on how to increase Shayne's followers, and you know what? I'm going to say
dick pic.
Send out
old
that.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, retweet it, please.
I'm actually going to save it for next week's show because this is like a 10-minute segment. So I'm going to save it for next week's show. So I'm going to tease it to all of our Barflies. Make sure you tune in because we're going to do a special segment on increasing Shayne's Twitter followers, and you guys are going to be a part of making that happen. So Barflies, unite.
Yes. I got a shout out.
I'm not supposed to take a dick pic then?
Please
Hold
don't.
off on the dick
Please.
pic? Okay.
Please
that'll ruin the whole fucking segment. I got to shout out Trey Biz. I know we couldn't bring the steak and whisk, but he's up in the hospital. Hopefully the woman sneaking in there, giving him a little pussy.
A little sponge bath?
A little sponge bath with Costanza. I got a special shout out. I can share a little bit. Jim Larison at J. Larison sent me a nice little letter. Actually, I'm not going to read the letter.
Oh, go ahead, read it.
Very private. No, it's very private, but sometimes the little things that people do. Huh?
What's going on between you two guys?
No, I'm just saying, sometimes the little things that people do, like, I'll say it to the guys, we spend a lot of time and a lot of energy and effort bringing analysis and humor and Aldo editing and all the creative backs, a lot of time. And when it means something to somebody, you don't realize it all the time. But the show means something to a lot of the listeners, and to hear that back and someone taking the time out to write you a letter and send you a little sign, it just meant a lot to me personally. And obviously I love the Barflies, but thank you, Jim, for that nice letter and we appreciate you, because let me say, Jim was speaking on you and Shayne as well, Aldo, and what he believes in this show, and it really means a lot to him in his life. And we've heard that so many times, and that's why I gotta shout these people out, because I want them to know we appreciate you listening in. So Air Jer
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second before you move on. I want to say something about Jim. Shayne, did you notice how he kind of buried that? You know, he said something nice about you and Shayne too. He kind of buried that into that whole.
Yeah, see how he is. Fucker.
No, I didn't bury it. I put it. I didn't want to go. I'm saying your
it's called
word.
Just the Tip. That's called Just the Tip.
Okay. Listen, I can speak honestly now. I don't want to lose my cult. So I could speak at least 30 minutes on each of you and what I think that you guys bring to the table. So I'm not going to. But you guys are very good at what you do, you know, holding me up on a pedestal, giving the diva his due.
I think you cemented yourself onto that fucking pedestal, too.
I sparkle because of you two.
Yeah, sparkle.
Where's David Kaplan? All right there, Sparky. All right, Sparky. I want to shout out David Kaplan finally having a good tweet.
David
Kaplan? After fucking a whole year I waited. Finally sent out a good tweet.
What did he say?
I was just talking about the coaching staff and how positive he felt like it was a difference. I think you actually attached to it. You were the one who brought it to my attention that David stepped up in the pocket for once.
I don't think it was me.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh, shit, man.
All right.
Oops. I got to hand it to Chris Armstrong's rye that she sent me a bottle of rye, man. That stuff.
Oh, look at that. She's sending you gifts, too.
Oh, man, I've been getting all sorts of gifts.
See?
Don't tell my wife, but I actually got some panties in the mail from somebody.
Oh, shit.
Dustin really sent those?
Dustin, thank you very much. They had that Reagan Padilla sent it to them.
I got to shout out Driscola, you know, another guy shows that he like listening to the show, bringing his Driscola cheat sheet to the table,
breaking it down like Balsley.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a special announcement, man. Benjamin Driscola has agreed to do some writing for the bar room.
Nice.
Wait, we have breaking news?
Breaking news. Whatever the sound effect music goes. He is actually going to do some writing, and we appreciate that because clearly this guy is a very talented writer. I mean,
he's funny. I love him.
Can't wait to read his stuff. So we'll
he also blew up my fucking Twitter line. I woke up with like
God.
700 notifications.
Yeah, I had to
700. What happened?
I had to fucking mute that. I rolled over in the middle of the night.
Party?
I had my phone on silent, and it just kept on fucking blinking and blinking nonstop. And I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I just put mine upside down, Shayne. Something maybe you think about doing.
I muted it.
That's why you don't have a fucking cult following.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
See, Shayne does have 2 tweets that went viral. Let's not forget the classic Shayne Eclipse tweet where he took Mitchell Trubisky and covered half of Glennon. That was classic. And then
made the news.
You broke. Yeah,
made the news.
You had your own fucking segment. Can we drop that in right here? Shayne. I thought she was gonna propose.
Oh yeah, she wanted what I was talking about. She was one of the girls. That story in the beginning that she was one of them. She knows.
We gotta get her on, Aldo. You've been slacking on getting us guests on the show.
I have to admit.
I'm getting the guy from 670. What's his name? Shayne?
Shit.
Parkins.
Danny Parkins.
Yeah,
I get Danny Parkins on the fucking show.
We gotta get the Bears Bros guest list and we'll.
Yeah, I've been too busy smelling those panties. That's what I've been doing. Dustin's panties.
Were they from Mexico?
Those Cuban scented panties.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message. Say hello to the camera.
Hello, motherfucker.
Talking about.
Gotta shout out Chachi.
Chachi.
Saying B Diddy always bringing it. Nikki. Still waiting for his first article. Something, Nick. Love you, bud.
I think he's taking his defensive driving class this weekend, isn't he?
Isn't he? Guy. No, seriously. Does Nicky fucking... Is he a bulldog?
He's a bulldog.
Nicky the bulldog. He is a fucking Twitter bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
He don't play around.
We've had to put the collar on him, that one choker collar that you put on bulldogs.
Yeah.
Because he'll go after anybody, man.
Yeah.
He goes crazy. Zeke, Isaiah Robles, another guy.
Zeke.
Jay Mueller, Wolf.
Isaiah Robles, who Aldo called Isaiah Robles on Bears Hour Live.
Did I?
You did. It's so funny. I was
How does
listening
a Puerto
back.
Rican get that name wrong, Shayne?
Actually, it might not have been Bears Hour Live. It might have been the Buffon show. You're like, we got Isaiah Robles in the chat room.
It was.
You got to go back and listen to it. I was driving down the road dying laughing.
That's because when I was in grade school, there was a guy named Isaiah who was always robbing me of my lunch money.
Isaiah Robles.
Oh, man.
Stacy Hefner.
Stacy!
Goosh. Stacy's tremendous. Bob Phelan. How could you not love Bob? Making these stickers.
Bob Phelan.
The Etoshan car's getting the tinted... I already got tints, but I'm getting it put on the back once the snow and the weather stops. I got to broadcast the bar room.
The 83 Sentra's getting the logos.
No, it's a 2012 Sonata, kid. I love it. Chris Bodwich, over across the pond, Andy Tom, Johnny Bradley, Scar, bringing it for the bar room, Tracy Mahoney, James Ford, Mark Dubai, Jeff from Jersey, Nacho Gonzalez in Mexico, Cal Brooks. How about Teddy, the Haitian, Momo the Bear, Leap Pendervis, Chicago Bears AFR, Shane's boy, Chris Teichler, Eddie G, you guys, John Boy, Flap Green. You guys always bring it, and you support the bar room and the show. I'm sure I missed a bunch. I try to bring out, we were going to change it to, instead of shout outs, we were going to change it to something. I couldn't remember what it was because Nikki didn't pull that highlight.
I think it was going to be the people that were most active on your timeline.
Yeah,
praising
that was
you.
it. But no, you can debate me on my timeline. You can praise Shayne on my timeline or Aldo. You can do whatever you want. But as long as you're active and you're that's what I like. You don't have to be some fucking dick ass jerk off that's taking personal shots or attacking
you get
people.
A lot of that
stuff.
Do you get a lot of that, Phil?
No, I don't get any of that.
Oh,
I've got it a couple times, and you guys have seen it. I share whatever. I don't really get that, but I get accused of having a cult. I have gotten that, Aldo. I don't know if you have.
I personally like that.
Potion Ass Licking Society, I think is what it's called, right, Phil?
What are the acronym for that? Let's do it. POAL. Poll. There you go.
Well, listen, guys. I have a special announcement to make. This is the very first show in Bears Barroom Radio Network history that has approached the 3-hour mark. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
A little cool in the gang for Shayne.
You know it.
Yes.
Give him a couple pops. He's out there doing the fucking...
This is 3 hours of entertainment, people. You don't get that anywhere else. Commercial-free entertainment. I remember when Lauren Cox told me, you know what? The secret to a podcast, having a successful podcast, is to make it 20 to 30 minutes long. And I was like, wow, yeah, that might be what we should do in order to make 100 Proof popular. No, we went the opposite direction. We quadrupled
3 hours.
3 hours. Fucking Shayne has to wake up in about 2 hours to deliver the mail.
Deliver the mail.
Oh,
3
man.
hour tour.
I'm going to tell you guys
3 hour tour.
that this was a fucking blast. I really enjoyed this show. This was one of my favorites. Not only because of the fact that we introduced all of these great Chicago Bears coaches that have given us hope. And how many times have I said it? That quote from Shawshank Redemption, hope is I forget the quote. I've said it so many times, I fucking forgot it. But hope is a good thing. Hope is a good thing. Maybe the best of things. And that's what we have now because of the Chicago Bears coaches. But also, this is one of my favorite shows because of the analysis that you guys brought. Shayne Marsaw, Phil Atoshan. Follow them on Twitter. Shayne, what's your Twitter handle?
At Wasram. It's WASRAM.
All right. And make sure that you follow and you tell other people to follow because the goal is 2,500 in the next 30 days. Phil, what's your Twitter handle?
At Fulfill O. That's F as in Frank, ULP as in Paul, HILO.
Damn.
On Twitter.
That was 30 minutes to share that Twitter handle.
Well, I always have to spell out the fills and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a really creative Twitter handle. All right, and you can follow me at Bears Barroom. Don't follow me at Aldo Barkeeper unless you hate Donald Trump, because that's what I've been filling that Twitter handle with. So don't bother following me if you like the Donald. Listen, but I love all of you. Thank you for listening here. My counter just hit the 3-hour mark, so I'm going to bring up the celebration music, and away we go. Oh, remember, if you drink, please don't drive, and always bear down.
Bear down.
3 fucking hours.
We did it. You know what? I honestly just didn't even know it was 3 hours. I think the chemistry.
Your wife will know.
I'm amazed even myself, Aldo. I'm so amazing.
Oh, here we go. It always is read like this. I'm saying that you guys entertained me as well.
Entertained the people.
You guys were also pretty good too.
You guys, Shayne, you actually delivered the mail.
Wow, those tweets this week, Shayne, so creative.
Yeah.
Shayne.
Yes,
Shayne really bringing a tweet.
Oh, man.
What?
All right, let me fade
What's the deal with the Bears? They're doing things different. It's actually football again.
Thank God.
What?